Let's check.
Hello and welcome to Stony Brook Field in Brewster, Massachusetts for Orleans Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Hi everyone, alongside Gareth Kwok, I'm Carlo Jimenez, bringing you Game 29 of the season as the Orleans Firebirds travel to Stony Brook Field for the first time this summer to take on the top team in the East in the Brewster Whitecaps. The Whitecaps have been on fire as of late, winners of 8 of their last 10 games as they are starting to pull away from the rest of the Eastern Division. Yesterday, the Whitecaps took on the Harwich Mariners in the battle of the top teams in the East, and Brewster was able to fight off a late-game rally by the Mariners to win 4-3 at Harwich in Bryce Hubbard's final start of the summer. Today, the Whitecaps will look to even the season series with Orleans. On the other side, the Orleans Firebirds handed Bourne their first losing streak of the summer as they downed the Braves 10-4. The Birds picked up 2 3-run home runs, one from Tyler Locklear and another from Trey Harmon to take an early 6-0 lead on their way to the win to end a 3-game losing streak and defeat the top team on the Cape. The Firebirds offense has been hot in the last 5 games with a .290 batting average and will look to continue that momentum into this afternoon's contest. It's a battle with the top team in the East as the Orleans Firebirds take their first trip to Stony Brook Field to face the Brewster Whitecaps. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Noah Searson. Noah, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I appreciate it, Carlo. So like you said, this game has massive implications when you talk about a potential playoff run for this Orleans Firebird squad. But this is also a game that both teams want immensely because this has almost become a rivalry of sorts. If you kick it back to the last time these two teams faced off, some words were exchanged after the game. Managers on both sides not too happy. And talking to the team before the game, you know, both sides have apologized for some things that probably shouldn't have been said. But needless to say, the rivalry still exists, and these teams had a little bit of love lost between each other. So in a league where you have constant turnover and the Orleans-Chatham rivalry is built up, but you never really get that sense of intensity. Talking to Coach Ryan Erickson before the game, he told me this game is likely going to be intense from the jump, and it's going to feel like a playoff game. So that's something to get excited for, the big storyline I'm looking at going into this one because it has playoff implications, and it's a team that, frankly, the Firebirds really want to beat here in their first trip to Stony Brook Field. And if they're going to do that, they're going to have a great game. Like you said, Carlo, Brewster, the number 1 team in the East right now, but it's definitely a winnable one. And Whitecaps, although they've been great, this marks the first game that they start life after Bryce Hubbard. So what do the Firebirds need to do to win this game, to knock off Brewster, and to continue down the path towards potentially seeking a playoff spot? It all starts on offense. .299 average, like you said, Carlo, in the past 5 games. And this Firebirds team just seems to get all their energy, all their momentum on the offensive end, whether that's a big home run from Tyler Locklear or Trey Harmon, or, you know, even bunts and steals. Everything the Firebirds do on offense positively affects their entire game to a whole. You'll see it, like I said, when Tyler Locklear hits a big home run, he plays better in the field. And this sort of trend continues everywhere. So my key to the game is keep the bats hot and get them going early. I think if they're able to put some runs on the board early on, gather the momentum, that'll carry over to the defensive side of the ball and also carry over to the arm of Thomas Schultz, the pitcher today from Vandy. It's definitely going to be a fun matchup, a little matinee action, but not to say there won't be some late game dramatics in this one. Brewster Orleans doesn't get much better than this one. And my key to the game, let's get the bats going early. But that's all I got from right now. I'll have sideline reports the entire game. If anything happens, I'll be sure to contact you guys. But we've got a great game, 4 o'clock first pitch. So I'll send it back to you guys in the booth before anthem and getting started at 4. Guys?
Appreciate it, Noah. Thanks so much for the pregame insight. A beautiful day here at Stony Brook Field. Clear skies, the wind blowing slightly out to left. And the Orleans Firebirds taking their first trip to Brewster. Not a far one from Eldridge Park, just about 15 minutes. The Firebirds are looking to down the Whitecaps. Orleans is the only team in the Eastern Division with a winning record against Brewster at 2-1. These two teams will face off 2 more times this summer. Both these games will be at Brewster. This one today, and then the final game of the year on August 4th. Well, Garrett, the Firebirds looking to continue their momentum after a huge win over Bourne, a team that has been, for the most part, inconsistent throughout the year. But how do they get a big-time win and remain in the hunt for the playoffs?
Well, I think it starts off with the offense, and what we saw from yesterday against a Bourne team that's the best on the Cape. Firebirds punched first in the first inning. Tyler Locklear hit the 3-run home run. That got the mojo going. That got really Nathan Florence out onto a good start, and everybody seemed to pick up from that. And it isn't just an easy way to say it that, oh yeah, they strike first. Oh, of course that. Orleans is 5-0 when they score first, as a matter of fact. And so if they do that, they will be able to win this ball. They should be able to put a more of competition against this Brewster team that right now is in that top spot and clearly looking for revenge from what happened last time. So this Firebirds team, they have to be able to strike first, and they're going to have to do it against another good pitcher today in Brewster, one of the best pitching staffs in the league. And again, it's not mathematically out just yet. The Firebirds out of contention, but they're going to need a run, and then probable run, and they're going to have to start it tonight. They got one yesterday. Can they do it today?
Yeah, you mentioned a Brewster team, one of the best pitching staffs on the Cape, but not a great hitting team. Only 190 in their last 5 games to complement that 324 team ERA. They have struggled to put the ball in play this summer. The question will be, can the Firebirds put up enough runs? Orleans is averaging 9 runs a game against this Brewster Whitecaps team, and that has put them in success. The 19-6 win earlier, and then in the last game between these two teams, Orleans put up 8 runs in the 8-6 victory. We're going to step aside and get set for the national anthem here at Stony Brook Field.
Is Cheryl Kane. She is a Brewster resident, has performed the national anthem at Fenway Park and Dodgers Stadium. She teaches voice lessons both in person and remotely.
Oh, say can you early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Cheryl Kane. Marvelous job.
Beautiful rendition of our national anthem as we get set on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon here at Brewster. A 4 o'clock start at lightless Stony Brook Field between these two teams. And we'll get you the starting lineups for the Orleans Firebirds. They'll start with Peyton Chatinier out of Old Miss. He'll lead things off. Jared McKenzie, who hails from Baylor, back in the 2-hole. Keishel in the 3 spot, the sophomore out of USF. Then Chase DeLauder out of James Madison, and Tyler Locklear out of Virginia Commonwealth. Jeff Costello in the 6-hole out of Northeastern, and 7-8-9 will be Trey Harmon, David Marcano, and Justin McNiss. That will be the offense for Orleans. Here's the defense for the home team, the Brewster Whitecaps. Behind their pitcher, Brendan Gurton. Behind the plate, putting down the signs, will be Nick Biddison. In left field, Jake Thompson. In center field for this Brewster team, Porter Brown. And in right, Chris Lanzilli. From left to right on the infield, at third base, Tony Bullard. At shortstop today will be Trey Faltini. Second base, Cooper Weiss. And at first base today, Will Simpson for Brewster. Brendan Gurton on the mound for this Brewster team. The rising sophomore out of Texas Tech. He will be making his second start of the summer and his 5th appearance for this Brewster team. In his 8 innings of work, he's struck out 11 batters and has a 4.5 ERA. Gareth, what can we expect from the righty?
Yeah, what you're going to see from Girton is a fastball that'll run around 90 to 94. You'll get more 90-91s than 93-94s. They'll come at you from a high three-quarter arm slot, and he also has a slider as well, 81 to 84 with the slider. He's mostly just a two-pitch guy. Does have a changeup that he'll throw occasionally, but he's mostly just fastball slider, and that's what these Firebirds hitters will be looking at today from the right-hander, Brendan Girton.
Girton's last start came against Falmouth. He went 4 innings, allowed 1 earned run, 3 hits, and 4 strikeouts. Again, a lot of pitchers for every team on the Cape hitting their pitch limits, and so new pitchers have been coming in. So Wareham added a couple today. Firebirds have a new pitcher on the way as well. Right-handed batter Peyton Chatinier digs in. Orleans in the HDMH camo uniforms, the red undersleeves with the white pants today. Brewster in the home whites, Whitecaps across the chest with the teal sleeves outlined in black and the white pants. The first pitch home. And Chatinier takes the strike. Fastball drops in, no balls and 1 strike to him. A beautiful 86-degree Tuesday afternoon. We start at 4:04, little behind the 0-1. And Chatinier rolls one on the ground towards short. Faltini gobbles it up. He takes his time. Throw to first is a little high, but snagged by Simpson. And Peyton Chatinier retired. And with 1 out, up comes Jared McKenzie.
Now batting the left fielder from Baylor, number 18, Jared McKenzie.
Girton, the right-handed pitcher, hails from Gage, Oklahoma, a town with an estimated population of just 551 people. As he'll face the lefty Jared McKenzie. Here's the first pitch. Upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes to McKenzie. Girton started a couple of games for Texas Tech, but didn't have a lot of appearances for them, the 1-0. And McKenzie slices one down the left field line over towards the bullpen of Brewster, and foul. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. In his 18 appearances and 2 starts, pitched 24 2/3 with a 4.74 ERA for the Red Raiders. Top 1, Orleans and Brewster. 2 East opponents going at it. Firebirds facing the Eastern Division the rest of the way. 2-0. Misses high. 2 balls and 1 strike to Jared McKenzie. Firebirds this summer 5-5-2 against their own division. 2-1. And McKenzie slices one down the left field line over the bullpen and foul. And the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes to him. Base is empty, 1 out. Here at Stony Brook Field. First time we're visiting. 315 down the left field line. 385 to center. Here comes a 2-2. McKenzie swings and misses. First strikeout for Girton, and the second out of the top of the first. Stony Brook, a newer home for this Brewster Whitecaps team. One of 3 locations on the Cape that doesn't have lights, as the right-handed batter Luke Keischel digs in with the bases cleared and 2 outs. Top 1, Orleans and Brewster. Pitch down the hill. Misses away. And the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Luke Keischel named Cape Cod Baseball League Player of the Week this past week. After what has been a terrific performance, 1-0, and he rolls one on the ground, slowly towards short. Faltini charging, scoops it up from the infield grass, in time to get Keischel. A nice play from Trey Faltini. And it's 3 up, 3 down in the top of the first. We'll head to the bottom of the inning here at Stony Brook Field. No score through a half.
All right, fans, tonight's game is sponsored by Mosquito Mary's. The Cape Cod Baseball League would like to welcome our new sponsor, Mosquito Mary's, a locally owned, family-operated business that provides all-natural mosquito and tick control services. Call 866-ASK-MARY or go to MosquitoMarys.com. Mention the Cape Cod Baseball League and get your first treatment for only $29.
4 gift cards up for grabs.
And tonight's game is sponsored by Cape Cod Coca-Cola. Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. And Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for over 30-plus years. And we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations here on the Cape.
Appreciate it, Gareth. As always, fantastic reads. Let's get to the starting. Sorry.
My pleasure.
Always got to get to the starting lineup for the Brewster Whitecaps. It will be Nick Biddison to lead things off out of Virginia Tech, then Jake Thompson out of Oklahoma State. Chris Lanzilli in the third spot out of Wake Forest. Tony Bullard cleaning things up, the newest Brewster Whitecap out of U of A. Tyler Dellerman, the junior out of Charleston, will be in the 5-hole. Will Simpson in the 6th spot, the sophomore out of UW. Trey Faltini, who made a nice couple of plays in the top of the first, will be in the 7-hole out of Texas. Cooper Weiss out of Coastal Carolina hitting 8. And Porter Brown out of TCU in the 9 spot. The defense for the Orleans Firebirds behind Thomas Schultz. It will be Tyler Locklear at third, David Marcano at short, Peyton Chatinier at second, and Trey Harmon at first base. In the outfield from right to left, Luke Keischel in right, Chase Delauder roams center, and Jared McKenzie down the line in left. Catching for Thomas Schultz will be Justin McNiss behind the plate, and Schultz making his third start of the summer. His last one came at Katuitt on July 20th, and it was a fantastic start for him. 5 innings of work, 1 earned run, 6 hits, 4 strikeouts, and a lone walk. He was great for the Firebirds, especially after coming off a tough first loss of the summer against Falmouth, in which he just went 3 innings and allowed 5 earned runs. Gareth, what will we see from the righty out of the powerhouse of Vanderbilt?
Yeah, Schultz going to come at you with a hard fastball. It'll come around 90-91 at times. It might start off first in the high 80s, but it'll work its way up into the low 90s as the game progresses. He does have a good curveball, slider, and a changeup. He's got all 4 pitches. He can strike you out with all 4 of them. And as you talked about, Schultz coming off a very good performance last week, and he'll look to do that against right here the best team in the East.
Right-handed batter Nick Biddison digs in, and Schultz's first offering of the afternoon is swung on and fouled back to the screen. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Biddison hitting 148, the catcher in the leadoff spot. A hit, just 1 hit in his last 7 games. 0-1. And he swings and pops one up down the right field line over the bleachers. The count, no balls and 2 strikes. Bleachers on either side of the press box. We are off to the right, a little down the right field line, but not much. Bottom 1, no score, Orleans and Brewster. Nobody out, nobody on, 0-2. Swinging a foul tip that pops out of the glove of McNiss, and Biddison stays alive. Biddison had a triple and an RBI last time against Orleans in the Firebirds' 8-6 win at Eldridge Park. Schultz sets, kicks, 0-2 in the dirt. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. A little bit of drama last time, Gareth, when these two teams faced off. Think about the Jared Southard final out and the reaction by the Brewster dugout. 1-2. And another foul. And Biddison battling with Schultz. And some bad blood brewing between these two teams. We'll see if that comes out today. The dugout popped out for Brewster. They had some choice words for Southard after he struck out the side in the 9th. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. And down goes Nick Biddison. Thomas Schultz strikes out the first batter he sees. And in stands Jake Thompson with 1 away. And the base is empty in a scoreless bottom of the first.
Well, we saw a pregame, actually, Carlo. Jared Southard talking to manager Jamie Shevchik, and it was about that incident that happened last week. And, it seemed like both of them had sort of, talked it over and made amends a little bit, just kind of evaluating the situation and how just, emotions can run high at times. And that seemed like everything went fine in that conversation, very civil, and that we won't see that again today.
Left-handed batter Jake Thompson takes a strike. No balls and 1 strike to him. Thompson, a Cape League All-Star. The only Cape League All-Star for this Brewster team in the lineup today. 0-1. At the top of the zone for strike 2. And Schultz in the driver's seat. No balls and 2 strikes. Orleans and Brewster scoreless. Bottom of the first inning at Stony Brook Field. A beautiful day for baseball. Clear skies, a little bit of wind. 0-2. And a ground ball over towards second. Chatinier stabs it at the second hop above his head. His throw to first is in the dirt and dug out by Trey Harmon for the out. A nice play by Trey. Moving to his right as that ball got up on Chatinier. He had to leap at the last moment to keep it in front of him. And there's 2 away.
Now batting.
So the lone all-star in this Brewster lineup is retired.
Chris Lanzilli.
And Chris Lanzilli climbs in with 2 outs and nobody on in the bottom of the first. First pitch to the righty. Swing and a miss. Count, no balls and 1 strike. Lanzilli out of Wake Forest, 0 for 11 in his last 3 games. Batting average has dropped below the Mendoza line at 194. 0-1. Downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brewster here at Stony Brook Field with trees that line the outfield. 1-1. Swing and a miss, and a ball and 2 strikes. And Thomas Schultz looks like he is in his bag early.
Yeah, he's got that good slider working, slider, curveball, whatever you want to call it. And if he can command that pitch the rest of the afternoon, he's going to be hard to hit.
Schultz sets at the belt, stares in towards Mickness, likes the sign. He steps back, kicks high. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Lanzilli. And 2 strikeouts for Thomas Schultz. 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the first. We'll head to the second inning. It is no score through 1. Orleans and Brewster here at Stony Brook Field.
Without the express written permission of the Brewster Whitecaps.
Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. So glad you could join us on this Tuesday afternoon. Carlo Jimenez alongside Gareth Kwok as we begin the top of the second inning. Orleans and Brewster scoreless. And it will be the Bash Bros and then Jeff Costello, Chase Delauder, Tyler Locklear, and then the senior out of Northeastern to face Brendan Gurton. Gurton went 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning. 2 groundouts to short and struck out Jared McKenzie. As the left-handed batter, Delauder walks to the box. A good crowd on hand for this 4 o'clock game. The bleachers in left are full, where most of the shade is. There's a hill down the left field line behind the dugout with some chairs on it, and then more bleachers down the left field line. First pitch to Delauder. Misses away. 1 ball, no strikes. Some fans even set up in center field with blankets on a small hill that looks over the fence. Gurton's 1-0. Skips in and hits the mass of Biddison. Unable to scoop it on the bounce, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. Chase Delauder, the league leader in extra base hits, with 16. 2-0. Misses low again. 3 balls and no strikes to him. He has reached safely in his last 13 games. Base is empty, nobody out, top of the second inning. Here comes a 3-0. Downstairs, a 4-pitch walk to Chase Delauder. He sees nothing to hit. And up comes Tyler Locklear with 1 on and nobody out.
Now batting the third baseman from Virginia.
That's the kind of respect this Brewster team has for Delauder. Chase, the first time against Brewster, 5 for 5 with a couple of home runs. He was absolutely terrific. The only 5-hit game by any player on the Cape this summer. in the first matchup between these two teams at Eldridge Park. Right-handed batter Tyler Locklear looks on. Pitch down the hill. Locklear takes high. 1 ball and no strikes. DeLauder stole 2 bases yesterday. It was his first 2 stolen base game, as he takes his lead at first with nobody out in the top of the second. No score between Orleans and the best team in the Eastern Division, the Brewster Whitecaps. 1-0. And Locklear swings and flies one down the right field line. Coming in, Lanzilli, the right fielder, on the sprint. He'll reach up and make the catch. Locklear flies out to right, and there's 1 away. So with 1 on and 1 out, up comes Jeff Costello to face Brendan Gurton. Wind blowing strong out to left. The flag in right center. Stands among the trees. The scoreboard is in left, in navy and bright blue. Costello looks towards Gurton, righty on righty with DeLauder at first. Pitch down the hill. And a big ground ball over towards third. Third baseman Bullard charges. He looks at second, decides to go to first in time to beat Costello. DeLauder moves up to scoring position, and up comes Trey Harmon.
Now batting the first baseman from Stetson, number 49, Trey Harmon.
Harmon had a big 3-run home run last time Firebirds played last night. Made it a 6-0 game over the Bourne Braves and really put some distance between the Firebirds and the top team on the Cape. Orleans coming off a 10-4 win to Bourne. Right now trying to bring home Chase DeLauder from second with 2 outs. First pitch, low. 1 ball and no strikes. Harmon was mashing in batting practice earlier today. 315 down the left field line, 325 down the right field line, and 385 in center as Harmon steps out. One of the few regular ballparks on the Cape. We've seen a lot of odd dimensions this summer. DeLauder with his lead at second, no score, top 1, 2 outs, 1-0. Low to the future Stetson Hatter, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. Harmon has hits in 6 of his 8 starts in his time with Orleans. He has been impressive, 276 in his 10 games. Activated exactly 2 weeks ago and has been a nice addition. Gurton looks twice at second, 2-0. Swing and a miss. And the count 2 balls and 1 strike to Trey Harmon. A 4 o'clock start here at Stony Brook Field and a beautiful afternoon for baseball. One of 3 parks on the Cape without lights. That's why we get the early start, hoping to get all 9 innings in. 2-1. Harmon another wave. 2 balls and 2 strikes. DeLauder was walked on 4 pitches. Locklear flew out to right, and Costello grounded out to third. Chase moved up 90 feet. He now stands in scoring position. Top 2, 2 outs, runner at second, and a 2-2 count to Harmon. Deuce is wild here at Brewster. Pitch on. And Harmon, another swing and a miss. A foul tip into the glove of Biddison, and that will do it. Second strikeout for Brendan Gurton. And the Firebirds get a runner on into scoring position, but they do not bring him home. 1 left aboard. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning. 0s here at Stony Brook between Orleans and Brewster.
Once again, the official schedule.
Hi, I'm Steve Anzoni, owner of Fairway Financial and Cape Cod's Retirement Income Specialist. If you want to hit a home run with your retirement income plan, schedule a time to meet with me today.
Get more details at fairwayfinancial.net. That's fairwayfinancial.net.
and more. There's something for all.
Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. So glad you could join us. Carlo Jimenez alongside Gareth Kwok, our producer Matt Schenfeld, and our sideline reporter Noah Searson. A hot, windy day here at Stony Brook Field, and the Orleans Firebirds are knotted up in 0 as we head to the bottom of the second inning. It will be Tony Bullard, Tyler Dellerman, and Will Simpson. Heart of the lineup coming up, the 3-4-5 hitters, as Thomas Schultz looks to face the minimum for the second straight inning. Schultz, one of the 2 Vanderbilt arms on this Firebirds team. Patrick Riley will most likely start tomorrow against Chatham, the other Vandy arm, and they have been terrific additions
Leading off for the Whitecaps,
to the Birds.
the third baseman from Arizona,
So Bullard, the newest
Tony Bullard.
Brewster Whitecap, right-handed batter, 6'4", 210. Steps into the box and looks towards Schultz, the pitch home. Upstairs, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Bullard was fantastic in the Tucson Regional for Arizona, 1-0. And he lines one down the left field line over towards the fans. Nails the bleachers. Everybody gets out of the way, and the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Tony was 7 for 12, 5 RBIs, 2 home runs, and a triple, and was named NCAA Regional All-Tournament Team, 1-1. And he fouls one over the press box, and the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Overall, in his time in the NCAA tournament on a Wildcat team that reached Omaha, hit .382 with 9 RBIs and 4 home runs. Came into the tournament hitting .250. Here's the 1-2. And he fights another breaking ball off, fouls it behind the bleachers. And left the NCAA tournament with a .298 average. Starting off the bottom of the second inning, no score between Orleans and Brewster. 2 Eastern Division opponents going at it. 1-2. And a little looper into left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. The Lauder, the center fielder, to his right, cuts it off. A big turn at first for Bullard, but it'll head back to the bag. And a leadoff single for the cleanup hitter. As up comes Tyler Dellerman.
University of Charleston, in West Virginia, number 14, Tyler Dellerman.
Dellerman out of the University of Charleston. Be a rising junior for them. Right-handed batter looks towards Schultz after he surrenders his first hit of the afternoon. Schultz deals. And a swing and a high fly ball into right field. Coming in is Keishel. He's on the run. Sets up camp and makes the catch. 1 pitch. And Tyler Dellerman is retired.
Now batting,
As Luke Keishel begins his
from Washington,
4th different position with Orleans. He's played left field, shortstop, third base, and now right field. Say that's the definition of a utility player. Right-handed batter Will Simpson looks in. Schultz eyes the righty, kicks high, deals. In the dirt, gets by Mickness, and on his way to second is Bullard on the wild pitch. And so now Brewster with a runner in scoring position. Simpson part of that controversy last time these 2 teams faced off. He hit a grand slam in the top of the 8th inning that Jared Southard, the pitcher at the time, did not take a liking to. Schultz is 1-0. Strike on the inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. For Simpson, it was just his 3rd home run of the summer, and at the time it gave Brewster a 6-5 lead in a game they had trailed the entire way until the 8th. Schultz kicks 1-1. Simpson waves. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Firebirds would respond with 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th, and Southard would strike out the side in the top of the 9th and then say some words to Brewster, and the Whitecaps did not like what came their way. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Simpson strikes out, 3rd of the game for Thomas Schultz, and he's 1 out away from working around the leadoff knock by Tony Bullard.
And he's got that curveball working so far early on, and it's a good spinner. Really doesn't slow down his arm slot any any further, and it just spins right out of his hand and just dives in below the zone. Makes it so tough for hitters to pick up. He's already got 3 strikeouts.
Faltini, the shortstop, looks on. Another right-handed batter. The go-ahead run, Tony Bullard at second. No score, bottom 1, 2 outs. First pitch home. Strike on the inside. No balls and 1 strike to Faltini. Trey Faltini gets to learn from one of the best at Texas. Our Troy Tulowitzki is an assistant coach for the Longhorns. Texas athletic program, 0-1. Swing and a miss. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. That might be joining the SEC, Garrett. A lot of movement in college athletics right now, and it's because Texas and Oklahoma are trying to get out and go to the SEC. Bullard leads at second. 2 outs, no balls and 2 strikes to Faltini. The 7-hole hitter as Thomas Schultz looks to leave the runner stranded in a scoreless game in the bottom of the second. He kicks. 0-2. Just misses upstairs in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Tell you what, if you have the Texas go into the SEC for baseball, I think they'd be fine and they would keep up. Meanwhile, Oklahoma, they would have a lot of work to do. A team that just went 11-13 in conference play just in the Big 12, and then if you go to the best conference in college baseball, it won't get any easier.
1-2 to the plate. And a swing and a miss into the glove of Justin McInnes. That's strikeout number 4 for Thomas Schultz. A leadoff single by Bullard, but he's left stranded at second. Schultz works around the first hit of the afternoon by Brewster, and we remain scoreless through 2. Let's go to the top of the 3rd inning at Stony Brook Field. No score between Orleans and Brewster. Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. Carlo Jimenez alongside Gareth Kwok as we begin the 3rd inning. Visitors come to bat. It will be David Marcano, Justin McInnes, and Peyton Chatinier for the Orleans Firebirds, facing off against Brendan Girton. Right-handed batter, Marcano digs in. Senior out of NJIT, the first pitch to him. He shows bunt and bunts it foul down the right field line. And the count, no balls and 1 strike to him.
Almost hit him in the hand there. And remember, he had hamate bone surgery this spring on his hand this spring. So he's coming off that surgery in rehab.
Girton's 0-1. Marcano taps one foul, hits his left thigh. And the count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. David with hits in back-to-back games for the first time this summer. Picked up one against Bourne last night. Girton stares in. Nobody on, nobody out. In the visitor half of the 3rd, 0-2. And that gets Marcano. Upstairs, his helmet flies off. As he walks around the plate, picks up the helmet, and will jog down to first. Hopefully David's all right. Looked like it might have got him in the back of his neck. And a leadoff base runner as Kelly Nicholson comes out and talks to David. And for the second straight inning, the Firebirds have the leadoff man aboard. As David looks like he's all right, a good sign for Orleans.
Yeah, Kelly does not want any of his players to continue if they're feeling any signs of dizziness or just especially in that head area. We've seen Jared McKenzie get hit up there, and it's always such a scary scene, but it looks like it didn't get David clean flush on the helmet, so luckily it might have grazed him there, and he's all right.
Left-handed batter Justin Mickness looks on. Pitch home, there goes Marcano. Ball's in the dirt, and no throw from Biddison. Takes a ball to the back of the neck, and he's taken off and steals a base, and there's a runner in scoring position.
I think that's the ultimate element of surprise right there. You're not expecting a guy to get hit in the head and then steal on the very next pitch. And what does he do? He does just that. Catcher Biddison has trouble getting the ball out of his mitt, and David Marcano is in scoring position.
Second stolen base of the summer for Marcano, and Mickness a chance for an RBI. Girton looks at second twice. The 1-0. Mickness shows bunt, pulls it back, takes one upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, an opportunity for Orleans to score first, and that has been a sign of success for them. 5-0 when the Firebirds score first this summer. Been playing from behind a lot in 2021. 2-0. Low. 3 balls and no strikes to Mickness with first base open. On the other side, Brewster 12-1 when they have the first run of the game. So you want to be the first on the board against the top team in the East. And Orleans with that opportunity with David Marcano's 5-step lead at second and nobody out here in the third. Girton's 3-0. Downstairs and a 4-pitch walk to Justin Mickness. Firebirds leading on base percentage guy, Mickness, who takes the most walks. That's his 15th of the summer. And in stands Peyton Chatinier, 2 on, nobody out. We'll see if Chatinier puts a bunt down. Mickness doesn't have great speed at first base. The Firebirds would love to move both runners over into scoring position. But McKenzie, Keishel, and Delauder are all waiting their turn. Chatinier shows bunt. Girton deals. And Chatinier bunts it right back to the pitcher Girton. He flips to third in time to get Marcano. A nice play by Brendan Girton. That ball bunted to his left. He had just to turn and underhand flip to the third baseman Bullard. Gets the force on David. And so 2 on and 1 out as Chatinier is on with a fielder's choice.
Yeah, that's a nice play by Girton coming off the mound there. And if that bunt maybe is pushed a little bit more toward the third base side than right at the mound, I think Marcano is safe, and Girton's only plays at first. But because that bunt was pushed a little bit too far toward the pitcher's mound, it allows Girton to grab it and then have enough time to get Marcano and the lead out at third.
Left-handed batter McKenzie looks towards Girton with 2 on and 1 out. Firebirds trying to strike first, the pitch. McKenzie fouls one straight back. Brewster 8-1-1 in their last 10 games. That lone loss is to Orleans. When these two teams faced off on the 21st at Eldridge Park. 3 games at Eldridge and now 2 here at Stony Brook. The 5 games on the summer between the Whitecaps and the Birds. Mickness leads at second, 0-1. Way upstairs, Biddison pops out of his squat. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mentioned it earlier, Brendan Girton from Gage, Oklahoma, a town of 551 people. When he had his first start at Texas Tech, the town of Gage, Oklahoma pretty much all came to watch the righty pitch. Here comes a 1-1. And that's past the catcher Biddison and to the backstop, and everybody will move up 90 feet. Mickness on to third, Chatinier at second, 2 in scoring position with 1 out. And the Firebirds trying to draw first blood. No score, top of the third. The East Division leaders, the Brewster Whitecaps, who just need 3 wins to clinch the playoffs. For the Firebirds, they need some wins and some help. So Girton, when he made his first start at Texas Tech, his high school team was supposed to play that game. They canceled the game, got on a bus, and drove to Lubbock to watch the right-hander pitch. Kind of a cool scene for the kid out of the small town. 2-1. And McKenzie bounces one down the right field line, a fair ball. Mickness comes around to score. Chatnier's rounding third. He scores coming home. It's a 2 RBI single from Jared McKenzie. And the Firebirds jump on the Whitecaps first, 2-0 in the top of the third.
Well, they had the first baseman Simpson right on the bag. And McKenzie with a sharp ground ball that gets past him and down the right field line. And like we talked about before the game, Carlo, the Firebirds, if they strike first, there's a good chance that they win this ball game. And they put up 2 here in this top of the third. McKenzie with a 2-run single for a guy who has been searching for an RBI in quite some time.
You mentioned it, Gareth. It's been 3 weeks since Jared McKenzie last picked up an RBI. And he does so here, and it's a 2-0 Orleans lead. Right-handed batter Luke Keishel looks on with 1 on and 1 out. Girton deals. Keishel looks at a ball that misses away. 1 ball and no strikes. The Cape Cod Player of the Week named earlier today. 14 for 26 from July 18th to July 24th. 8 RBIs, 1 home run, a triple, and a walk. As out comes Jamie Shevchak. Going to talk to his right-handed pitcher. Girton, just his second start of the summer. His first game against Falmouth gave up 1 earned run and 3 hits back on the 20th. But to begin the season was a reliever and didn't go more than 2 innings. So this is 3rd inning of work.
Thursday's a day off. We are at Bourne on Friday at 6 p.m. at Doran Park.
Runner at first is McKenzie as Shevchak heads back to his dugout. After his 2 RBI single, Orleans with a 2-0 lead. In the top of the third, looking to down the top team in the Eastern Division in the Brewster Whitecaps and keep their hopes alive for a playoff spot. Keishel spins the bat in front of him, eyes Girton. And a throw back to first. McKenzie back with a head-first slide. Jared McKenzie with 4 stolen bases in the summer of 2021. Had just 3 in the spring at Baylor. Girton looks on. And another throw to first, and another head-first slide by McKenzie, who continues to dirty up the front of those HDMH uniforms. Firebirds in the red camo today with the red undershirts. No activity in the Brewster bullpen. This is Girton's inning. 1-0. And a swing and a ground ball through the left side and into left field, a base hit. First knock of the game for Luke Keishel. And the Firebirds an opportunity to tack on more as up comes Chase DeLauder with 2 on and 1 out. In the top of the third, already a 2-0 lead for Orleans.
And Keishel gets a pitch high and in, fights it off the inside part of the bat and muscles it into left field. I mean, this guy continuing to be the hottest hitter in the lineup when it comes to batting average, and you just can't get this guy out. He finds a way to put the bat on the ball and find a hole in the defense.
Left-handed bat of DeLauder looks on. Girton gave him nothing to hit last time he was up. Walked him on 4 pitches, the first pitch home. And the same thing, a ball low through the legs of Biddison. It rolls behind him, and another free 90 for Orleans. McKenzie to third, Keishel to second. And now Biddison comes out and talks to Girton. And if you're playing Brewster, you want to tack on as many runs as you can. A great pitching staff, but they only hit .217 as a team and just .190 in the last 5 games. So if Orleans can put up a crooked number in the top of the third, they put themselves in a really good position the rest of the way.
And Brewster's going to draw the infield in here once again with runners on second and third and only 1 out for DeLauder.
DeLauder eyes Girton, bent at the waist, right arm dangling by his side. He comes set. 1-0 to the plate. Breaking ball misses high. 2 balls and no strikes. McKenzie at third after his 2 RBI single. And then Luke Keeschel with a single. His 10-game hitting streak now at 11. Tied for the league lead here on the Cape and the longest of the summer. He's even with Kyle Ball of Hyannis, whose 10-game hitting streak is also active. 2-0 downstairs. 3 balls and no strikes to DeLauder.
Yeah, I just don't think Gurdon wants to pitch to DeLauder here, but you got Tyler Locklear on deck, who's another dangerous guy at the plate.
The league leader in home runs and RBIs awaiting his turn. First base open, 3 balls and no strikes to DeLauder. And Gurdon steps off.
And this is what happens when you get these Bash Bros lined up with one another. You can't really pitch around them when you got another dangerous guy coming up next.
3-0. Misses low, and that's a walk to Chase DeLauder. Second 4-pitch walk to the left-handed batter, and the bases are juiced for Tyler Locklear.
Now batting the third baseman from Virginia Commonwealth.
Locklear with 5 home runs in his last 8 games. Jamie Shevchek appears from the dugout, and he's going to go to his bullpen. That will do it for Brendan Gurton. He leaves with the bases loaded. Orleans with a 2-0 lead over Brewster, but a chance to really jump on the Whitecaps with the bases full and just 1 out in the top of the 3rd inning. We'll step aside and come right back here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. Carlo Jimenez alongside my good friend Gareth Kwok. New pitcher on the mound with the bases loaded in the top of the 3rd inning. Orleans with a 2-0 lead, but an opportunity to add more with 1 out and the bases juiced. New pitcher on the mound, it's the lefty Pete Hansen out of Texas. Gareth, what can Orleans hitters expect from Hansen?
Yeah, Hansen, who had a great regular season for the Texas Longhorns in their college World Series run. What you're going to see from the left-hander, he'll go from a normal 3/4 arm slot with the fastball, not necessarily a hard-throwing guy. It's going to be around 88, 89 with a fastball, but he does have a deceptive he has deceptive off-speed pitches and a curveball, slider, and changeup. He has all 4 in his arsenal, but mostly likes to work fastball, slider, and away from hitters. So for Tyler Locklear, we'll see if he decides to try and sit on something middle away and perhaps go opposite field against the left-hander Pete Hansen.
Locklear has struggled this summer against lefties, hitting just 188 versus left-handed pitchers versus his 235 average against righties. McKenzie at third, Keeschel at second, DeLauder at first. 2-0 Orleans, and the Firebirds trying to put up a crooked number against the Brewster Whitecaps. And the new pitcher, Pete Hansen, looks on. Hansen making his 4th appearance of the summer. Coming off his best, where he went 4 innings against Falmouth, allowed just 1 hit. First pitch down the hill. Locklear takes a strike at the top of the zone. Late call by home plate umpire E. Tyler Bullock. At first base, Jeff Merzon. At third, Rick Emerson, the umpires for today's game. Locklear flew out to right his last time up. The Cape leader in home runs and RBIs. Trying to tack on more. With the bases loaded, 0-1. Fastball. Misses upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hansen has been terrific in high-pressure situations in his collegiate career. In the Austin Regional with the Texas team, he went 6 2/3 and struck out 13 to close things out against Fairfield. 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tyler Locklear. The Firebirds, the only team with a winning record in the East Division against the Brewster Whitecaps. An early 2-0 lead, but trying to add on more. 3 ducks on the pond. Hansen's 1-2. Off the outside. Locklear lays off. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Only 2 at-bats for Tyler Locklear with the bases loaded, but he does have a grand slam in one of those 2 at-bats. A guy who likes having runners on the bases here, and can he extend this Orleans lead here?
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Ball skips in the dirt, and Locklear strikes out. First strikeout for Pete Hansen on the first batter he faces, and it's up to Jeff Costello to try to salvage the bases loaded situation.
Now batting the designated
A tough strikeout for Locklear.
29, Jeff Costello.
An unproductive out with the bases full and 1 away, and now 2 outs. And in stands the right-handed batter Costello, who grounded out to third in his first at-bat. Costello still looking for his first hit of the summer against left-handed pitching. As he watches a first pitch strike at the bottom of the zone, no balls and 1 strike. Jeff 6 for 21 on the summer. Officially been with the team just over a week now. A wind blowing slightly out to center. No clouds in the sky in this afternoon matchup between Orleans and Brewster. 0-1. Skips in, off to the left of Biddison. Staying at third is McKenzie. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Keishel at second, DeLauder at first. Jared McKenzie had a 2 RBI double down the down the right field line to make this a 2-0 game. Firebirds then loaded the bases. Can they tack on more? 1-1. Misses high. 2 balls and a strike. Costello was 2 for 4 in his first game against the Whitecaps, although does not have a hit in the last 3 games. 0 for his last 5. 2-1. And a ground ball over towards the Brewster dugout. Hits the screen in front of it. And the count levels 2 balls and 2 strikes. A packed house here at Stony Brook Field. The Firebirds' first visit. Not want to leave the bases loaded against a terrific pitching staff in Brewster. One of the best on the Cape. 2 early runs. 2-2. Strike 3 at the knees. Costello down looking, and Pete Hansen does his job. Back-to-back strikeouts with the bases loaded. Keeps this a 2-run game. The Firebirds get 2 hits, 2 runs, but 3 left on. We will head to the bottom of the third. Orleans 2, Brewster nothing here on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Your homemade pizza, calzone, grinder, wings.
Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. 80 degrees, a light breeze, and no clouds in the sky. Couldn't be more perfect on this Tuesday afternoon here between Orleans and Brewster. Firebirds bring 8 batters to the plate. They bring 2 across and leave 3 stranded in the visitor half of the 3rd inning. As we head to the home half, it'll be Cooper Weiss, Porter Brown, and Nick Biddison for the Brewster Whitecaps. 2-0 Orleans. Firebirds with a small window to make the playoffs. They need at least 4 wins and at least 4 losses from the Harwich Mariners. A combination of a couple of things that go their way would help them make the playoffs. Here's the first pitch to the righty. Swing and a miss. And the count, no balls and 1 strike to Cooper Weiss. Schultz beginning his 3rd inning of work. 4 strikeouts for the right-hander out of Vanderbilt. Working quickly, 0-1. And a swing and a foul over the screen. And no balls and 2 strikes. Schultz in the driver's seat. Gareth, it seems like Thomas Schultz is all go, go, go. He is feeling good today. 0-2. And a swing and a foul straight back. Weiss spoils the breaking ball. And he'll wait another 0-2 pitch.
Yeah, he likes to get into his zone pregame. Kind of just locks himself up in his room. Just kind of gets himself ready.
0-2. Breaking ball misses low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A good take by Weiss.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those guys. You just don't want to bother him. Don't talk to him before the game. He's trying to get all into his zone, and right now he's doing a good job.
1-2. And a swing and a line drive foul down the 3rd baseline, and it skips off a young kid with a glove. He took one, and he's going to run it off behind the bullpen. Don't rub it. And that's not what he's doing. He's running it off. He's still going.
Yeah, he took that one right off the shin. Ouch.
Now, hopefully he's all right. That was a hot shot down the left field line. 1-2. Misses away. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Cooper Weiss. Thomas Schultz, nicknamed the Mayor. Here comes a 2-2. And a foul straight back to the screen, and that ball gets caught in the screen. Don't see that too often. Our analytics guy is Brandon, trying to grab it. Oh, he lost it, dropped it onto the field.
Aw, Brandon.
And the ball boy is going to come pick it up.
I mean, to be fair, that ball's behind him, so he's got to try and grab that and then, wrap it back into him. But it's not an easy play, but come on now.
2-2. And another foul back to the screen. And another 2-2 pitch upcoming. A long at bat here between Schultz and Weiss. This next pitch will be number 8. 2-2. And a swing and a fly ball into right field. A little looper towards the line coming in. The right fielder, Kieshel. He calls everybody off and makes the catch. 9 pitches. And finally, Cooper Weiss is retired on a fly out to right. And in comes Porter Brown.
The center fielder from Texas Christian, number 4, Porter Brown.
Porter Brown, just 1 for his last 12 in his last 8 games. But in his at-bats, he's been productive out of the 9 spot. 3 RBIs. Pitch to the lefty. And he takes a strike upstairs. Brown and Jake Thompson, the only left-handed hitters against the righty Thomas Schultz today. Base is empty, 1 out, bottom 3. 2-0 Orleans over the Brewster Whitecaps. 0-1. And a swing and a line drive into right center field. This one towards the gap. Kieshel reaching over. He dives. And he makes the catch. What a play from Luke Kieshel. Kieshel slow to get up. On all 4s in right field, a full-out Superman dive. And a superhuman play for out number 2. He had to range a long way to his right. And full extension to take away extra bases from Porter Brown. And Kieshel gets up. Looks like he's all right as he walks back over to his defensive position.
It wasn't the greatest angle by Kieshel. He might have lost in the sun for just a second before seeing at the very last second, taking the sharp cut to the ball. And then, as you mentioned, all-out Superman dive on the backhand. Definitely could have made it a little bit easier on himself, but given the sun and out in right field, a tremendous play.
So the right-handed batter, Nick Biddison, the leadoff man, looks at a first pitch strike. Luke Keeschel, Cape's hitter of the week, makes a web gem here at the bottom of the third. The 0-1. And a swing and a hot shot right at the first baseman, Trey Harmon. He doesn't have to move, and he makes the belt-high catch. Birdman loves it, and that will do it for the bottom of the third. We'll head to the fourth. Gareth Kwok will have the middle innings. Firebirds protecting a 2-0 lead thanks to some nice pitching from Thomas Schultz.
Back here at Stony Brook Field, home of the Brewster Whitecaps, here on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. It's a sunny one. It's hot. A little bit of a breeze, though. It's very nice temperature. Gareth Kwok alongside my good friend Carlo Jimenez and our sideline reporter Noah Searson. Currently, right now, 84 degrees Fahrenheit here in Brewster. Just a short drive away from Eldridge Park, just about 10 minutes down the road. And Thomas Schultz threw 3 innings, 3 shutout in the books for the right-hander out of Vanderbilt. And now the bottom of the order will come up to bat against Pete Hansen, the left-hander from Texas. Trey Harmon, David Marcano, and Justin Mickness, the 7, 8, and 9 batters, dude up, with Orleans holding a 2-0 lead here in game number 29 in the schedule here in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Hansen working from the windup, and the first pitch to Harmon is a fastball up high for ball 1. Harmon in his first at-bat struck out swinging against the right-hander Brendan Gurton from Texas Tech. Hansen ready, the 1-0. And a high fly ball deep to left field, but this is going to slice foul over the batting cage, over the bubble. And it is 1-1. Well, Trey Harmon has had at least 3 or 4 of those balls where he's just hooked it down the left field line, where if it was fair, that ball would be way out of here. Instead, it's a foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here it is. And a breaking ball that's high. 2-1. Trey Harmon, as pitching coach Matt Troop likes to call him, Big Donkey at the plate. Hansen's 2-1. And a curveball that wraps around the outside corner for a called strike 2. 2-2. Brendan Gurton's final line tonight. 2 1/3 innings, gives up 2 hits, 2 runs. Both were earned with 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. Certainly not his best outing on the summer. 2-2. And he takes a curveball just a bit high. Pretty close spot, but home plate umpire E. Tyler Bullock says ball 3. 3-2 to Harmon, with David Marcano on deck for Orleans. Eight games left on the schedule. 3-2. And a swing and a miss. Harmon goes down swinging on the changeup. Strikeout number 3 for Pete Hansen. He has struck out His first 3 hitters ever since coming on in the top of the third with the bases lower than 1 out. Got out of the inning with back-to-back strikeouts, and here he strikes out Harmon to lead off the third. Lead off the fourth, pardon me, as here's David Marcano now, right-handed batter from NJIT. First pitch, and David pops one up down the right field line. Lanzilli into the corner, right by the side fence, and he makes the catch in foul ground for out number 2.
Now batting the catcher from Kent State, number 16.
So here's Justin Mickness now, the left-handed bat from Kent State. Drew his 15th walk on the summer in his first plate appearance back in the third. Lefty on lefty matchup. Hansen winds, kicks, and throws. And first pitch is a curveball right down the chute for strike 1 called, 0-1. Mickness leads the team in walks as one of the best eyes, not only on this team, but on the Cape. 0-1 delivery. Fastball just misses the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And with that walk back in the third from Justin Mickness, that's now 7 straight games where Justin Mickness has drawn at least 1 walk. He is patient, and he takes some really close pitches. 1-1. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball, and it's 1-2 now. Mickness has also walked more than he has struck out. 15 walks over 8 strikeouts this summer for the catcher from Kent State. Down to the count, 1-2. The pitch and a breaking ball that sweeps outside the zone, 2-2. His on-base percentage right now at .436, which leads the team, which is just incredible given that his batting average just .244. Peyton Chanier on deck. Here's the 2-2 from Hansen, and a fastball low below the knees, 3-2. Jared McKenzie's 2-run single back in the top of the third has been the difference so far in this one. Orleans 2, Brewster nothing. In this matchup between 2 East Division opponents. The 3-2. Mickness takes high and inside, and for the second time today, he's drawn a walk. This time with 2 outs. And here comes Peyton Chanier in the top of the order now for the Firebirds.
Yeah, Mickness continues to impress. I mean, he just makes you work every time against opposing pitchers. His 16 walks move him into third on the Cape in walks taken, tied for third.
As here's Chanier now, right-handed batter from Ole Miss versus Hansen. First pitch, fastball up high for ball 1. Peyton is 0 for 2. He has bounced out to short, and he has reached on the fielder's choice. He did eventually score on that McKenzie 2-run single. Back in the top of the third, 1-0. Fastball in there, strike 1 called, 1-1. Firebirds breaking a 3-game skid with a victory over the best team in the league yesterday, the Bourne Braves. And this is the first time Orleans is visiting Brewster at their home field. 1-1 is a swing and a miss on the pitch that dives out of the zone. 1-2. This won't be the last time Orleans will visit Stony Brook Field. They will visit Brewster one more time next Wednesday. That will be the season finale here from Stony Brook Field. Next Wednesday here at the home of the Whitecaps for the last game of the season. 1-2. And Chanier waves and misses on the pitch outside, and the side is retired. That's now 4 strikeouts for Pete Hansen, the lefty from the University of Texas. And we will send it now to the bottom of the fourth. 2-0 Orleans when we come back here on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Your Orleans Firebirds would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, Visit SprinklinSports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball. We're Franklin Sports. Wherever you call home, from Boston to the South Shore to the South Coast to the Cape and Islands, Rogers Gray has you covered for all your coastal homeowners insurance needs. Rogers Gray is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Learn more at rogersgray.com. You ever design your own batting gloves, Gareth?
Have I ever designed my own batting gloves? I don't think I've ever designed them, but I've certainly one of those guys that loves to try them on, and well, of course this is before COVID, but you just try them on and kind of get a feel for it and get the grip, and batting gloves is an essential, unless you're Jack Bolger.
Yes, I was about to say some guys they don't believe in batting gloves.
Unless you're Jack Bolger, then
or the right hand of Jace Young.
That's also true,
but not the left.
Well, because the other glove is with his brother. Right?
That's right.
So
the left hand of Josh Young, the right hand of Chase Young.
Bottom four from Stony Brook Field. Thomas Schultz still in the ball game. The righty from Vanderbilt has done very nicely so far. 3 innings, only 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts, and he comes on in here to face off against a good chunk of the order for the Whitecaps. 2, 3, and 4 batters: Jake Thompson, Chris Lanzilli, and Tony Bullard, all dewed up here in this bottom of the 4th. As the sun continues to shine here at Stony Brook Field, beginning to set very slowly along behind home plate and off to the left of home plate. So it's just slightly on the third base side where the sun will set tonight. Again, no lights here at Stony Brook Field as the first pitch to Thompson is lined into right field, into the corner, and it's a fair ball. Gieshel over to dig it out. Thompson will head for second as the ball bounces over the fence for a ground rule double. So Jake Thompson leads off the 4th with a 2-bagger. And here comes now Chris Lanzilli for the Whitecaps.
First extra base hit given up by Thomas Schultz. And now can he work out of it? A leadoff double by Thompson, who continues to burn the Firebirds.
Here's Lanzilli, the right fielder and the right-handed bat from Wake Forest. Righty-on-righty matchup. Look over at second, first offering. And a fastball that's just a bit up high for ball 1. Lanzilli struck out swinging back his first time up against Schultz in the first inning. Got the navy blue socks up to his knees. 1-0. Popped up. And this is going to go over our heads and onto the playground here at Stony Brook Elementary. 1-1.
Playground's a place to be right now.
Oh, it's popping. There's a playground behind us. There's also a basketball court behind us as well here at the school. A lot of luscious trees beyond the outfield fence with a small hill out in center for some fans. 1-1. Lanzilli takes a fastball in there. Strike 2 called, 1-2. Very nice little cute setup here at Brewster. Not a whole ton of space, but doesn't matter. All the fans packed in here. Grandstands that were supposedly newly renovated along the third base side. Here's the 1-2. Lanzilli fights it off and fouls it back to the screen. 1-2. It remains to the rising senior from Wake Forest, who's 0 for 11 in his last 3 games. Power hitter who hit 42 home runs in his 4 years with the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. Chokes up on the bat about a half an inch, and Schultz gets the sign and is now at the stretch. 1-2. Thompson at second, the pitch, and it's very high. McNiss quickly has to get out of his squat to snag that one before it sails to the backstop. 2-2. On deck is the Arizona third baseman, Tony Bullard. Tying run at the plate here. Runner on second, nobody out. Lanzilli represents the tying run for Brewster. Schultz ready. Comes home. And it's popped up. First base side, Trey Harmon chasing after it just by the first base coach's box, and he makes the catch in foul territory for out number 1.
An unproductive out to keep Thompson at second with one out. So ideally, that eliminates the sacrifice fly.
Here's Tony Bullard now. Bullard, who singled his first time up against Schultz in the second with a soft line drive to left. Big, tall, right-handed hitter from the University of Arizona. First pitch is high and in for ball one. Bullard just activated on Friday. As Carlo talked about, an NCAA Tucson Regional All-Tournament selection. He went 7 for 12 with 2 homers, 5 runs batted in. Takes a curveball inside, almost hits Bullard right on the elbow. It's 2-0. Whitecaps coming off a 4-3 win over Harwich yesterday. 4 runs on just 2 hits, but one of them was a big one. 3-run home run by Jake Thompson, who is standing at second. 2-0. Bullard takes a fastball on the inside corner. Strike one called by home plate umpire E. Tyler Bullock. 2-1. They scored all 4 runs in 1 inning, and the pitching continues to be the strength of the Whitecaps, and it held up against the second-place Harwich Mariners in the East. 2-1 is tapped foul along the third base side, and it's now 2-2. The count evened up to the third baseman from the University of Arizona. He's not from the area, though. He goes from Riverside, California. With Tyler Dellerman on deck for Brewster. Thompson led off the inning with a double down the right field line, a ground rule double, and he's at second. Schultz looks him over at second, 2-2. Curveball lined into left field. McKenzie doesn't have to move, just over a step to his right, and he makes the catch. And a hard hit line drive from Bullard, and that time right at Jared McKenzie, who was positioned perfectly out there in medium depth left field. And there's 2 down now for Dellerman, the rising junior from the University of Charleston.
Big out there for Schultz. Bullard was the only other guy with a single before the double by Thompson. The only guy with a hit, excuse me.
Dellerman flew out to right his first time up. First pitch, fouls it straight back to the screen. 0-1. To Tyler Dellerman in the lineup as the DH tonight. Hitting in the 5 slot for Jamie Shevchik and Brewster. Shevchik stares in at McNiss's signs, now gets the one he likes, the 0-1. And another foul back to the screen from Dellerman, and it's quickly 0-2. Thomas Schultz trying to complete 4 scoreless here today at Brewster. The right-hander from Vanderbilt throws, and the fastball just misses the outside, 1-2. Schultz with a terrific start last Tuesday at Katuitt, where he went 5 innings, allowed just 1 earned run on 6 hits with 4 strikeouts. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Dellerman chases at the curveball. Strikeout number 5 for Thomas Schultz as we send it now to the 5th here from Stony Brook Field. It's Orleans 2, Brewster nothing when we return here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Top 5 from Stony Brook Field. Gareth Kwok alongside my good friend Carlo Jimenez and our sideline guy, Noah Searson, here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Final 8 games on the schedule here in 2021 for your Orleans Firebirds. And they hold a 2-0 lead right now over the Brewster Whitecaps. Orleans 5 games back of the Harwich Mariners. But luckily for Orleans, coming off some good momentum yesterday in their win over the best team on the Cape in the Bourne Braves. And Orleans will face Harwich 2 more times this summer. And so Orleans is not completely out of it yet. They're going to need some things to go their way for sure. Right now, a win here against the best team in the East wouldn't hurt. Jared McKenzie faces off against Pete Hansen, and the first pitch is low and away in the dirt for ball 1. McKenzie has the big hit tonight, a 2-run single in the top of the 3rd. That's been the only runs of the ball game. 2-0 Firebirds. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. McKenzie chases low and away, 1-1. That 2-run single from McKenzie. Those were the first runs batted in for the Baylor outfielder in almost 3 weeks. And this is a guy who drove in 44 runs batted in the spring for Baylor. 1-1 is topped foul as it hits the netting by the on-deck circle. 1-2. It's a big screen that protects the Bat Boys, the Orleans Bat Boys, right in front of the dugout. Luke Keishel on deck. It's McKenzie, Keishel, and DeLauder against Pete Hansen from Texas. 1-2, and Hansen misses high and in. 2-2. Jared McKenzie hoping his 2-run single could be the start of him finding some more success at the plate. Hitting just 205 before this game, and he swings at the 2-2, rolls it over to second, off the glove of the second baseman Weiss, picks it up, throws to first, not in time. Weiss bobbles the ball out in the hole in deep right. At deep second, couldn't come up with the ball, and it'll go as an error. An E4 on the Brewster second baseman, and Jared McKenzie's aboard here with nobody out at first for Luke Keishel. Here's the right-handed bat of Keishel, who's 1 for 2 today. Hansen now checks on McKenzie at first, and Jared is back to first standing up. Keishel 1 for 2. Extended his hitting streak to 11 games with a single back in the 3rd. Hansen staring down McKenzie at first, now comes home. First pitch is a curveball that drops in there for a called strike 1. 0-1 to Keishel. Luke has 8 multi-hit games total so far this summer. And now snapback throw over the first in the dirt and dug out by Simpson, the first baseman. Boy, that could have gone awry there if Simpson was unable to dig that one out, and it rolled down the right field line. No balls in the strike. Nobody out. McKenzie at first. Hansen at the belt. 0-1. Keishel on the ground into right field. A base hit. As it trickles into right, McKenzie hits the bag at second, going for third. Throw in the third. And the slide from McKenzie, not in time. Luke Keishel with his 8th straight multi-hit game. This man is on fire at the plate. Pokes it through the right side of the infield. And Orleans is back in business here with runners on the corners and nobody out for one of the best power hitters on the Cape in Chase DeLauder.
And got to take advantage here for Orleans. The Bash Bros are up, and there's 2 on the corners. So Firebirds left the bases loaded in the 3rd. But another golden opportunity, the top of the lineup continuing to produce, Gareth. They have been terrific.
Lefty on lefty matchup here between Hansen, the lefty from Texas, and DeLauder. McKenzie at first, Keishel Mackenzie at third, Keishel at first pitch. And Chase takes a breaking ball at the knees for a called strike one. 0-1 to DeLauder.
It's the first strike Chase has seen all game.
Chase against left-handed pitchers. He's hitting .316 with 3 homers and 5 runs batted in. The 0-1. Grounds it to first. Bobbled by Simpson. He's on the bag at first, and he'll get the out there, but McKenzie comes home and scores. And Orleans has now made it a 3-0 game here in the top of the 5th on an RBI ground out from the James Madison center fielder, Chase DeLauder.
A productive out puts another run on the board.
Now batting the third baseman from Virginia Commonwealth.
And Orleans with that 3-0 lead. Got to bring him in, Gareth, against one of the best pitching staffs on the Cape.
Luke Keishel advances to second. DeLauder retired, but he picks up his 18th RBI on the summer. And now he'll give way to the Cape League RBI leader, Tyler Locklear, with a runner on second and 1 out. First pitch, Locklear takes a fastball at the knees for strike 1. Locklear with 26 runs batted in on the summer. Had a 4 RBI night last night versus Bourne. 3-run home run in the first inning and then an RBI sac fly in the 7th. 0-1 pitch, grounded to short. Faltini deep in the hole, long throw from short. It's a low throw and juggled by Simpson, but the first base umpire, Jeff Merzel, indicating that that bobble was coming on the transfer from Simpson, and so Locklear is out. It was not on the receiving end where the bobble came. It was just from Simpson transferring the ball from his glove to his throwing hand. And so it is indeed an out, 6-3. Keishel over to third, and now here's Jeff Costello with Keishel 90 feet away and 2 down. Hansen throws, first pitch, and a fly ball hit well deep to left field. Back goes Thompson, still going back at the fence, and it's off the bottom of the wall. Keishel touches home, Jeff Costello into second. And the Firebirds have now taken a 4-0 lead as Jeff Costello laces an RBI double to left, and it's 4-0 Firebirds.
Now batting the first baseman from Stetson, number 49.
Costello picks up his second run batted in on the summer and ends his 3-game hitless streak with that swing of the bat. 4-0 Orleans here against the best team in the East. As Trey Harmon, right-handed batter from Stetson, now stands in. First pitch. Trey out in front with the breaking ball. A wave and a miss, and it's 0-1. 2 runs have come home here in this top of the 5th for the Firebirds. Two runs on 2 hits, 1 error as the 0-1. Harmon takes a fastball right on the outside corner. Strike 2 called. It's 0-2 to Trey Harmon, who is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. David Marcano on deck for Orleans if Harmon can extend the inning. Long look at second from Hansen, the lefty from Texas. 0-2. And Harmon now skies one down the left field line toward the foul pole. Is it fair or foul? Home plate umpire E. Tyler Bullock has ruled it a foul ball. And the whole Orleans bench has gone nuts. And Jamie Quinn, the third base coach now, having a word with E. Tyler Bullock. Kelly Nicholson is out now by the first baseline with his clipboard in his hand, and he's going out over. And it was certainly close, right on that left field foul line. And I mean, the thing is, the pole is not that high up. I mean, the pole is basically about 25, 30 feet high, and Trey Harmon hit that about 200 feet up high in the air.
And that's the 4th time this summer Harmon has been hit a home run foul down the line.
And Trey Harmon trying to plead his case with home plate umpire E. Tyler Bullock. He believes he hit a home run. And I think just the problem is it really is sort of a judgment call, given that you just have to imagine that pole extends up high in the air, imaginary, as if it's an imaginary 200-foot pole, which, I mean, Trey Harmon just skied that ball way up into the air. And Kelly Nicholson still talking to E. Tyler Bullock about it.
It's hard to tell. I mean, we're down the line here, and because that ball's so high, like you said, Gareth, it's a judgment call. And I'm not sure if, I mean, in all honesty, I have no idea if that was fair or foul. We're sitting right down the line.
It certainly was tough to say. And the Orleans fans not happy. The dugout not happy. And, I mean, just Harmon just shot that ball up into the air so high. And it just made it a tough call for E. Tyler Bullock, who at the very last second then ruled it a foul ball. And so Kelly Nicholson still talking before backing up now, and he will return back to the dugout, but not before giving a couple of words for E. Tyler Bullock.
Don't give me a lie. Just don't give me a lie. Come on, Trevor.
So you can hear into a little bit of the discussion there. It's 0-2, the Harmon, runner on second. Firebirds believe they had a 2-run home run. Instead, it goes as a foul ball. Hansen gets the sign. Firebirds have to try and do it again. 0-2. And Harmon lays off the high fastball. 1-2. An eventful top of the fifth to start off for the Firebirds. 2 runs, which have doubled the lead from the beginning of this inning. 4-0 Orleans. The 1-2. Harmon takes in the dirt. And it's 2-2.
2 impressive takes by Trey. I mean, you imagine you get back in that box, and you want to swing the bat. But he's able to lay off after what it seemed like he was robbed of a 2-run home run.
Jeff Costello at second. He drove in Luke Keishel with an RBI double to left. 2-2. Breaking ball up high. And a snapback throw to second. The tag not in time. Nick Biddison almost gunned down Jeff Costello at second, who was caught sleeping. But he's able to get the hand in just ahead of the tag from the second baseman, Weiss. Boy, that was a very good play and attempt by Biddison. He just caught everybody here at this ballpark by surprise. Instead, Costello safe at second, and the 3-2 pitch. Harmon, line drive into left center field, a base hit. Costello rounding third, he will score. Trey Harmon will put on the brakes at first. He's got another RBI. His 7th on the summer, and it's now 5-0 Firebirds here in the 5th.
Now batting the shortstop from the New Jersey.
Well, it may not be a 2-run home run, but Orleans, they won't complain with a run-scoring hit from the first baseman who's headed to Stetson. Trey Harmon with another great at-bat.
And this offense continues to impress. Again, hitting .290 in their last 5 games, averaging 7 runs a game. A 10 spot against Bourne, the most runs they've given up all summer, and already 5 here early against Brewster.
David Marcano, right-handed bat from NJIT, stands in. First pitch, and Marcano pops one up into right field. Second baseman Weiss backing up, now coming in the right fielder Lanzilli, and he slides on the edge of the grass and makes the catch. And the side is retired. Orleans plates home 3 runs on 3 hits. On 1 error and 1 left on base, the lead has been extended to 5. It's 5-0 Firebirds as we head to the bottom of the 5th. We're halfway through here from Brewster.
All right, well, we are the first game to start on the Cape, but let's update you on what's upcoming. Bottom of the 3rd, the only other game going on at Lowell Park, and a 2-2 tie right now between the Bourne Braves and the Cotuit Kettleers. The game's yet to begin. Hyannis at Falmouth. That will kick off at 6. Then at 6:30, YD will be at Harwich in a big one. Firebirds will be score watching there. Chatham is at Wareham at 6:45 at Spillane Field to round off this Tuesday night of Cape League Baseball.
All right, so Bourne and Cotuit right now in a bit of a tie. Braves, they got some players on the way out, and sort of at an unopportune time, and especially with the playoffs approaching, and so that will be something to monitor for the best team right now in the league. And of course, keep an eye out for that game between YD and Harwich. Right now, YD is still ahead of Orleans by winning percentage, even though both still have 11 wins on the summer. YD in third, Orleans in fourth. But Harwich is the team that YD and Orleans and Chatham they're all trying to catch Harwich right now for that second spot. Again, just the top two teams in each division qualify for the Cape League postseason. It used to be, Carlo, that 4 teams in each division would qualify, but special rules for this 2021 season, and only 2 teams from each division will qualify, and there'll be 2 best-of-3 series to decide a Cape League champion in 2021. So 3 runs home in the top of the 5th. That should surely give Thomas Schultz a little bit more cushion and confidence heading into this bottom half of the 5th inning. It's Simpson, Faltini, and Weiss, the 6, 7, and 8 batters. And the first pitch is a big bender at the knees for a called strike 1. 0-1 to the UW first baseman, Will Simpson. He struck out swinging his first time up. 0-1 pitch, a little blooper down the right field line. It'll fall for a base hit. Chanier over to cut it off. Simpson will stop at first. And a leadoff base runner for the Brewster Whitecaps to start off this bottom of the 5th.
Third straight inning, Thomas Schultz has relinquished a leadoff base runner on a base hit, or third time today. So Schultz hasn't made it easy on himself, but he's been able to work out of jams, and kind of the same thing we saw last time he started, Gareth. Those 6 hits at Katuitt, but only 1 run coming across.
Right-handed batter Faltini from Texas versus Schultz. First pitch. Faltini takes a fastball low, ball 1. Faltini struck out swinging back in the second in his first time up against Thomas Schultz. What could very possibly be Schultz's final inning tonight. "1-0 is a fastball inside, 2-0. Thomas Schultz has not gone longer than 5 innings in his 2 starts with the Firebirds. Went 5 last Tuesday at Katuitt, and then 2 weeks ago went only 3 against Falmouth, and that was his first start of the summer. 2-0 pitch. Faltini, fly ball deep to left field. McKenzie backing up near the warning track, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Faltini retired. And here comes now Cooper Weiss, the second baseman.
Now batting, the second baseman from Coastal Carolina, number 7, Cooper Weiss.
Weiss flew out to right his first time up in the 3rd. The rising sophomore from Coastal Carolina. And the right-handed batter digs in against the right-handed throwing Schultz. First offering. Slider blocked by Justin Mickness's mask, picks it up, throws down the second, not in time. Boy, that would have been a heck of a play by Justin Mickness to block that ball with his catcher's mask. I mean, he didn't even hit him in the protective gear, didn't even hit him with his chest protector. He got him square right on the mask, kept that ball out in front of him, and then flipped off his mask and threw on over to second, where he almost got Will Simpson, but Simpson is at second on the wild pitch. 0-1 from Schultz. And a slider that runs outside, 1-1. Five 0 Orleans. In the bottom of the 5th we are here at Stony Brook Field. First time Orleans has visited the home ballpark of the Whitecaps. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Good slider from Schultz. And it's 1-2. Firebirds will be back at home tomorrow night at 7:00 p.m. First pitch when they host the Chatham Anglers. And we'll have pregame for you. Special pregame start at 6:30. 1-2. Broken bat, soft grounder right in front of the mound at Schultz. Gloves it, tosses over the first calmly in time to get Weiss. As Weiss will now have to get a new piece of lumber next time around.
The center fielder from Texas,
Completely saw them off
number 4,
right on the hands.
Brown.
And there's 2 down. Simpson moves over the third, and here's Porter Brown out of TCU. So tomorrow, first pitch at 7 p.m., but we'll have a special pregame for you at 6:30. Mark that on your calendars for tomorrow. First pitch to Porter Brown, and he pops it up in foul ground. Third base side, Tyler Locklear backing up, and with 2 hands, he makes the catch, and the side is retired. Thomas Schultz strands the leadoff hit from Will Simpson, and that's 5 scoreless in the books for the Vanderbilt right-hander. Let's go to the 6th here from Stony Brook Field. It's 5-0 Orleans when we return.
Precious seafood on Cape Cod at Orleans. Leading off for Orleans, the catcher.
Justin Mickness will get things started here in the top of the 6th. Orleans up 5-0 over the Brewster Whitecaps. 9-1-2 batters due up against Pete Hansen, left-hander from Texas, and the first pitch. Mickness takes a high fastball for ball 1. Hansen, who came on in relief in a tight spot back in the top of the 3rd inning. The bases were loaded with 1 out. He got back-to-back strikeouts to get out of the inning without giving up any further damage. 1-0. Mickness takes high and in. 2 balls and no strikes. But so far for Hansen, the left-hander has surrendered 3 runs, 2 of them earned on 3 hits. And there is a pitcher getting loose for Brewster. 2-0 pitch. Mickness pops one up, shallow left field. Racing on over is Thompson. Near the foul line, waits for it, and puts it away for the first out of the 6th.
Now batting the second baseman from Ole Miss, number 3, Peyton Chatagnier.
So here's Chatagnier in the top of the order, back up for Orleans. Peyton's 0 for 3. He is bounced out to short. He has reached on the fielder's choice, and he struck out swinging. Ready for the first pitch from Hansen. And a breaking ball that is right down the middle for a called strike 1. 0-1. The Ole Miss second baseman, Peyton Chatagnier, who has just been continuing to have such a strong summer here on the Cape. 0-1. Takes one low for ball 1. The Cape League All-Star, who's collected a hit in 14 of his 19 games here with Orleans. Didn't know what to expect with the second baseman when he came and was activated onto the team early July. And he swings at the 1-1 and pops one up in the shallow right field. Lanzilli coming on over, loses the hat, and secures the baseball with 2 hands for out number 2. And here's now McKenzie for Orleans, the left-handed bat from Baylor, with 2 down and nobody on base.
From Baylor, number 18, Jared McKenzie.
McKenzie today, he's 1 for 3. 2-run single in the 3rd, and he's also reached on an error by the second baseman Weiss. First pitch, and a breaking ball that starts inside but then comes back to the middle of the plate and is taken for strike 1, 0-1. Hansen trying to pitch the first 1-2-3 inning for Brewster since the first inning. 0-1. And a swing and a miss. McKenzie is very late on the fastball, and it's 0-2. Brendan Gerton started off the ball game for the Whitecaps as the starting pitcher, a Texas Tech right-hander. Didn't go very far into the game, just 2 1/3. With 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors. As McKenzie takes a fastball right on the outside corner for strike 3 called. Strikeout number 5 for Pete Hansen, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for the left-hander. We'll head to the last of the 6 with Orleans still up 5-0 when we come back on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Get more details at fairwayfinancial.net.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, including new majors in sport and recreation management, graphic design, marketing, and computer science. Online at www.curry.edu. The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local 99 and try their famous colossal lobster rolls, piled high on grilled brioche and served hot buttered or with just the right amount of mayo and celery with fries and coleslaw. The 99, always the real deal. For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
In the market to buy, sell, or rent property in Brewster or the rest of Cape Cod, Michael Layton's team at Layton Realty has you covered. Cape Cod's #1 sales broker and team since 2020, and #1 in Brewster since 2007. More realtors working for you and
Bottom 6 from Stony Brook Field. Here, the home of the Brewster Whitecaps, and a new pitcher now for the Orleans Firebirds, from one Thomas to another. Thomas Schultz's day is done, and he'll give way now to Hayden Thomas, the right-hander from Texas A&M Corpus Christi, who will be making his 6th appearance for Orleans today. He's mostly been their Friday night starter, Hayden Thomas, but today he comes out of the bullpen here in the 6th. He's thrown 21 innings, 26 strikeouts over 8 walks with an ERA of 2.14. Last pitched on Friday at Bourne at Doran Park, where he did a very nice job. 5 innings, just 1 run on 6 hits, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. He's a big strikeout guy and looking to get some more strikeouts here in this middle relief role for the right-hander from Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
From Thomas, you're going to see a fastball that tops out around 92. Curveball, slider, and changeup all in his arsenal. Curveball sits low 80s, slider a little faster, and then changeup is mid 80s. Lefties struggle a lot more against Thomas in the spring. Lefties hit 194, righties 250 against the right-hander Hayden Thomas.
Thomas, who likes to work from the stretch, and the first pitch is at the knees for a called strike 1, 0-1. to Nick Biddison, the catcher, and the leadoff man for Brewster. It's the 1, 2, and 3 batters due up to start off this 6th against Hayden Thomas. 0-1. Fastball just misses the outside, 1-1. Thomas, one of 4 Cape League All-Stars on this Orleans Firebirds team. 1-1. And a slider that is in the dirt by about 2 feet in front of the plate. 2-1.
Final line for Thomas Schultz, 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Another fantastic outing.
Thomas ready at the belt, 2-1. Fastball that runs outside, 3-1. Thomas, who was the best starting pitcher on the Islanders staff this season for Texas A&M Corpus Christi. 94 strikeouts over 81 2/3 innings pitched, and he had an ERA of 3.31 in 14 starts. 3-1. Swing and a miss. A challenge fastball to Biddison. And Biddison asks home plate umpire Tyler Bullock if that was going to be a called strike. It's 3-2 with Jake Thompson on deck for the Whitecaps. Sun continuing to set down the left field side. 3-2. Fastball popped up foul down the right field line. And it remains 3-2.
Another impressive part about Schultz's outing, he faced just 3 batters over the minimum through his 5 innings of work. It was terrific and efficient.
Is exactly what Orleans needed against one of the best teams in the Cape. 3-2, fouled back to the netting. Off the bat of Biddison, and it remains 3-2. Eighth pitch of the at-bat for Hayden Thomas versus Nick Biddison out of Virginia Tech. 3-2. And a fastball popped up in the infield. Locklear racing over from third. In foul ground by the third base coach's box, makes the catch. Took Hayden Thomas 8 pitches, but he gets Biddison out on a foul out. 1 down here in the 6th.
And it's a good thing that Locklear saw that baseball. Mickness behind the plate looked up and had no idea where it was. He looked towards the infield waiting for somebody to move, and Locklear was able to corral it. Mickness a lot more in the sun than Tyler is down the third base line.
Here's Thompson, left-handed bat from Oklahoma State. And the first offering. Swing and a miss. Boy, that's a hearty hack from Thompson, who weighs at nothing but air. 0-1. A Cape League All-Star pitching to another Cape League All-Star. Thomas and Thompson. Thompson, the rising senior from Oklahoma State, and one of the Brewster's leading hitters. Takes an 0-1 fastball on the inside corner. Strike 2 called. And it's quickly 0-2 to Thompson, the Brewster left fielder. No Spencer Jones in the lineup. He's their batting average leader on the team. The big, tall left-handed bat from Vanderbilt. So Thompson's really the next guy up. Thomas now steps off the slab and will go through the signs one more time with Justin Mickness. 0-2. The pitch. And a ground ball in the right field past Chanier for a base knock. Second hit for Jake Thompson today. He's halfway to the cycle. He's got a double and a single. And here comes now Chris Lanzilli.
Right fielder from Wake Forest, number 41, Chris Lanzilli.
Lanzilli today, 0 for 2. Struck out swinging and is fouled out to first. The right-handed power bat from Wake Forest stares down Thomas. First pitch, swing and a miss. Boy, he was very tardy on the fastball. 0-1. No runs on 4 hits for Brewster so far in this one. At the belt, 0-1. Fastball skips in the dirt and is scooped out by Mickness. 1-1 the count. Hayden Thomas who led the Islanders pitching staff in innings pitched and strikeouts. However, his team didn't do so well in the regular season, just 25 and 29. And the 1-1 fastball is blown past Lanzilli, a swing and a miss, and it's 1-2 now. Thomas, this is his second stint with the Firebirds. Made one start with Orleans in 2019 in August. 1-2. Fastball high and outside. McNish thinks about throwing the first, but instead pulls back. 2-2. Thompson with good speed. He does have 3 stolen bags on the summer. And this is a Brewster team that loves to run. They lead the league in stolen bags. However, they're down 5 right now. 2-2. Fastball low. Count full 3-2 with Tony Bullard on deck for Brewster. Thomas looks over at first. We'll see if Thompson decides to run. 3-2. And Lanzilli takes ball 4 low in the dirt with the fastball. And 2 runners are on with 1 out for Bullard.
Now batting, the third baseman from Arizona, number 22.
Bullard has hit the ball hard twice today. He has singled to left, and then he lined out to left. Both hard hit balls from the right-handed batter from Arizona. Still plenty of ball left in this one. A Brewster team that has been defined by good pitching and timely hitting. And while the pitching has certainly not been up to what we had thought, still plenty of time for some timely hitting from this Brewster team. Thomas ready as he deals the first pitch. And Bullard lines one deep into right field. Keishel, though, backing up right on the edge of the warning track, and he makes the catch. Thompson will tag and go to third. And Tony Bullard is retired, and boy, he's shaking his head, wondering, what do I got to do to get some more hits here at Stony Brook Field against this Orleans defense? That's 3 balls he's hit really well.
Number 14,
and 2 of them, though, have gone right at the Orleans corner outfielders. A line out to Keishel and right, and now runners on the corners with 2 down for Tyler Dellerman. Thompson at third, Lanzilli at first. Dellerman today 0 for 2. He has flown out to right and has struck out swinging. Thomas's first pitch is a fastball bumped in there for strike 1. A Brewster team that was last in the East in 2019. They had a record of 18, 22, and 4, but they are on the verge of doing a complete 180 this summer in 2021. A 1 pitch. Another fastball right in there for called strike 2. One ball, 1 strike. The pitch, and it sails over Dellerman's head. Here comes Thompson. He's racing home, and Thomas forgot to cover home. Thompson scores from third. Over to second goes Lanzilli. That one just sailed out of Thomas's hand, way over McNish and toward the backstop, and it's now 5-1 Orleans here in the 6th.
Yeah, Hayden had a good at-bat going against Dellerman. Showed him the low fastball, then came upstairs with the high fastball and tried to go back upstairs with a high fastball and just went right over McNiss's head. Not much you can do here with that chain link backstop if you're Justin McNish.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Zilli at second. The pitch, fastball on the outside corner. Tyler Bullock rings up Dellerman. Strike 3 called. The first strikeout for Hayden Thomas comes here to end the bottom of the 6th. Off we go now to the 7th. Orleans up 5-1. And Carlo Jimenez will have the play-by-play the rest of the way when we come back here on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. Carlo Jimenez alongside Gareth Kwok as we enter the final 3 frames. Top of the 7th inning, and it will be the top 3 hitters in the Firebirds lineup. The best hitters in Luke Keischel, Chase DeLauder, and Tyler Locklear. Working against Pete Hansen as he is going to remain out there. 3 2/3 so far for Hansen. Came in after Brendan Girton only went 2 2/3. The starter. Here's the first pitch home. Upstairs, Girton went 2 1/3. And the count 1 ball and no strikes. Keischel extended his 7-game multi-hit streak to 8. Single in his last 2 at-bats in the 3rd and the 5th. He would come around to score in that 3-run 5th inning for Orleans. Hansen peeks over the top of the glove. He kicks 1-0. And Keischel lines one over towards the dugout of the Whitecaps. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Firebirds trying to down Brewster for the 3rd time this summer. The only team in the Eastern Division with a winning record against the Brewster Whitecaps, the top team in the East. Base is empty, nobody out, just getting going. 5-1 Orleans. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Keischel reaches for 1 and misses everything in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Luke Keischel last time out against Brewster, well, he had the game of the summer. 6 RBIs, a grand slam. Those 6 RBIs, the most by a player in a single game this summer. 1-2. And he swings and pokes one into right center field. Shallow right center field, and it drops for a base hit. The 3rd hit of the game for Luke Keischel. He's 3 for 4, and a leadoff knock to begin the 7th inning as up comes Chase DeLauder.
I mean, tonight it's been one of those games where he hasn't necessarily hit the ball super hard, but he's finding just those little openings, especially along that right field side. He finds the hole between the second baseman and first baseman and that bat to go, and then this time dunks it right in front and in between the middle infielders and the outfielders for his 3rd hit.
Lefty on lefty, the pitch to DeLauder. And he takes a strike at the knees. No balls and 1 strike to him. Chase hitting .316 this summer against left-handed pitchers. Last time out against Hansen, grounded out to first, but picked up an RBI. 0-1. Misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike to him. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the visiting Firebirds. One run, 4 hits, 1 error for the hometown Brewster Whitecaps. Keischel leads at first. And the 1-1. And DeLauder swings and taps one foul right over towards Tyler Locklear. Getting warm, he makes a nice play. Catching it with the bare hand. Into the body. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Orleans beating the top team on the Cape yesterday. Can they defeat the top team in the East? The hardest 2-game stretch you can have. And the Firebirds looking to go 2-0. 1-2. And DeLauder swings and taps one up the middle off the top of the glove of Hansen. The shortstop, Faltini, goes to second for 1. The turn to first is not in time. That ball just clipped off the glove of Hansen, which slowed it down for Faltini and might have saved the double play. And Chase DeLauder on to first on the fielder's choice. Luke Keischel jogs back to the dugout. And there's 1 on with 1 out for Tyler Locklear.
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly there. If Hansen doesn't touch that ball, I think that's a tailor-made 6-4-3 double play, but that deflection allows just an extra second for DeLauder to get up the line and beat out the relay throw.
Right-handed hitter, Locklear looks in and looks at a first pitch high and away. And the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Shadows starting to creep onto White House Field. No lights. That's why we started at 4 o'clock. 1-0 and is swinging a high fly ball into center. This will hang up there for the center fielder, Brown. And there's 2 away.
Now batting, the designated hitter.
So with 2 outs and a runner at first, it's Jeff Costello who picked up an RBI double off the bottom of the left field wall. At the time, scored Luke Keischel from third with 2 outs. And as the last run of the game, he would come home on a Trey Harmon single, who's on deck. 5-1 Orleans. Looking to hand Brewster their second loss in the last 11 games. First pitch, and the right-handed batter looks at a ball low. And the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Gareth, it's something about this Firebirds team. They always seem to play up to their competition. Once again, a close game with one of the best teams. 1-0. And a swing and a line drive that hooks foul. Down the right field line, over the dugouts, and back for a souvenir. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. I mean, the games with Bourne have all been close. The 1 win, the tie, and then the walk-off loss. Orleans in their 3 games with Brewster have been competitive. 1-1. Misses high. 2 balls and a strike. But then you look up and down the schedule, and 2 losses to a 7-win team in Hyannis, and it's kind of baffling. Leading at first is DeLauder with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. 5-1 Orleans. 2-1. In the dirt, gets away from Biddison. DeLauder taken off for second base, and he's going to be thrown out. Biddison able to pick it up right underneath him. Chase with a late break, and that will do it for the 7th inning. 1 hit, nobody left on, and we'll stretch here at Stony Brook Field. Firebirds with a 5-1 lead over the Whitecaps.
We will give you the rest of the prize winners at the next opportunity.
Welcome back to Orleans Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Carlo Jimenez alongside Gareth Kwok. The sun's starting to set at Stony Brook Field, and the Firebirds looking to secure another win against the Brewster Whitecaps, leading 5-1. So glad you could join us for this Tuesday afternoon action. Firebirds starting at 4 o'clock today. Earliest start we've had this summer. New pitcher on the mound for Orleans. It's Jake Somm, the lefty out of UCLA. Somm making his 11th appearance of the summer. In 14 2/3 innings, he has just below an 8 ERA. But Gareth, it's been on the road where Somm has really struggled this summer.
Yeah, it's been on the road, but luckily for him, he's got a 4-run cushion, and what you're going to see, he's going to come at you from a low 3/4 arm slot, 86 to 89 with the fastball with a slow slider and changeup. More of a control guy than velocity.
First pitch to the right-handed batter, Will Simpson, is in there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike to Simpson. Somm's road ERA in 5 2/3, 17.47. Here comes an 0-1. Misses off the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the flip side, when he's at Eldridge Park, in 9 innings of work, just a 2 ERA. Somm sets at the belt. Exhales, 1-1. And a swing and a line drive into the gap into right center field. That ball will drop for a base hit. Simpson stops it first, a leadoff knock for the first baseman out of UW. On Pac-12 on Pac-12 crime, and up comes Trey Faltini with one on and nobody out.
One of the Longhorns, number 5, Trey Faltini.
And in comes what currently is Texas of the Big 12, but might be Texas of the SEC. And the right-handed batter, Trey Faltini. Orleans 5, Brewster 1, bottom 7, nobody out, and one runner on. Firebirds' first trip to Stony Brook Field and trying to leave with smiles on their faces. Currently with a 4-run lead. Lefty on righty, Som pitches. Faltini shows bunt. The ball skips in the dirt over the head of Mictus and back to the backstop. And Will Simpson will jog into second after the wild pitch to count 1 ball and no strikes.
And with a guy like Som, who doesn't have a ton of velocity on his pitches, it's going to be extra important for him today to really locate his spots on the corners with his off-speed. Because that fastball right now, it's not going to be very overpowering. It's going to sit around 87, 88, but it's that slider and changeup that really makes him effective, and he needs to have those 2 other pitches tonight.
Simpson at second, nobody out. Som's 1-0. Faltini shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes a strike at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shadows crawling onto Stony Brook from left. Stopping just before the pitcher's mound. Som is in the sun, but the hitter Faltini is in the shade. Simpson with a 5-step lead at second, 1-1. Strike 2. Fastball pumped in, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes to the sophomore out of Texas. Surprisingly this summer, Som, the left-handed pitcher, has been better against righties than lefties. Righties hitting just 174 against him. Lefties 294. 1-2. Misses away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that's good news for Jake because 7 of the 9 hitters in this Brewster lineup bat from the right side. Firebirds protecting a 5-1 lead on a cool Tuesday night in Brewster. Wind blowing slightly out to center. Trees are still in the outfield, though, and time is called by Justin Mickness. He pulls out the card, takes a look, and him and Jake getting on the same page. Jake books up a 2 in the air. Mickness returns with a 1. Som now has to pull out his card. He's going to check on it. It's like those tests where you get 1 note card as your cheat sheet, and you write the whole test on the card.
Yeah, you gotta write it in like 4-point font.
Yeah. Print it out, double-sided. Don't have to study. Simpson at second, 2-2. Swing and a miss. Trey Faltini chases one downstairs. Jake Som and Mickness on the same page, and it ends up in an out as Cooper Weiss comes up to bat.
You think that was done on purpose just to psych out Faltini there? Because Faltini was just looking at Mickness and Som like what's going on here? Very confused.
Yeah, he wants to know where his card is.
And then he gets blown away with the fastball. I mean, at 88, 89 miles an hour. So there you go. Maybe a little lull in the action there that kind of throws off Faltini for out number 1.
Right-handed batter Weiss looks on. Som deals. Weiss shows bunt, bunts it down the third base line to the left of the chalk. And there's strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Firebirds, with their backs against the wall in the Eastern Division, they need to win 8 in a row and hope for 5 Harwich losses. That would result in a playoff spot. Not impossible. Som with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th, protecting the 5-1 lead, 0-1. And a swing and a pop-up down the right field line over towards foul territory. Moving over is Trey Harmon. The first baseman can't get there. Peyton Chatinier loses his helmet, or his hat, on the way over. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. A lot of room down that right field line. The grass is a good 7 or 8 yards, and then there's maybe 10 yards of gravel. No gravel on the infield, though, here. We're not at Wareham. Orleans 5, Brewster 1. 1 out, runner at second, bottom of the 7th inning. Firebirds trying to win 2 in a row, facing the top 2 teams on the Cape in succession. 0-2, swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jake Somm. And there's 2 away.
The center fielder from TCU, number 4, Porter Brown.
So a leadoff single by Simpson. He goes to second on the wild pitch, but he has watched 2 of his teammates strike out. And the first lefty-on-lefty matchup for Jake Somm as he faces Porter Brown. Brown hitting .079 on the summer, but that average jumps up to .222 with runners on base. First pitch home, and he takes a strike on the outside. No balls and 1 strike. Porter Brown, a third-year freshman. COVID just throwing everybody's eligibility for a loop, and Brown a prime example. 0-1, swing and a miss. And quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Jake Somm a chance to retire the side. Brown redshirted his true freshman year, then had COVID his redshirt freshman year, where he played in the shortened season, and then had a full freshman year last year where he hit .342. Runner at second is Simpson. 5-1 Orleans over Brewster. Jake Somm looking for the final out after giving up the leadoff single. Takes 2 looks at second. Kicks. 0-2. And a swing and a little looper into left field, a base hit. Rounding third on his way home comes Simpson. The throw in from McKenzie, cut off by Locklear. Throw back to first, gets away from the first baseman Harmon and goes out of play. And on to second goes Porter Brown, an RBI single. And it is 5-2 Orleans here in the bottom of the 7th. So Porter Brown picks up an RBI, just his 4th of the summer. He'll go to third on the play, as he was on his way to second when the ball went out of play. So a single, but he ends up 180 feet forward.
Number 23.
Yeah, maybe Tyler Locklear, where they have that one back. He probably just eat that throw. Tried to back pick Brown at the last second, but throw wide of Trey Harmon and it pulls him off the base. And now Brown 90 feet away. And again, it's still a 3-run ball game for Brewster here.
First pitch home to Nick Biddison. Right-handed batter takes a strike. No balls and 1 strike. No action in the Orleans bullpen. It's quiet. And this is Jake Somm's inning. As he gives up the run, the road struggles starting to creep back in for Somm. 17 ERA on the road. 0-1. Low. Biddison lays off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Orleans and Brewster. Firebirds 2-1 on the summer against the Whitecaps. The only team in the East with a winning record, with 2 games left to play against them. 1-1. Ground ball foul. Down the third baseline, over towards the Brewster dugout. And Somm ahead of the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 6 hits, 1 error for Orleans. 6 hits, 1 error for Brewster. But the Firebirds leading where it matters. 5-2 with 2 outs and Brown 90 feet away for Brewster. 1-2. Misses way high. Magnus jumps out of his squat. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jake Thompson, another lefty, awaits his turn on deck. He's 2 for 3 with a double and a single. Somm would like to save facing Thompson for the 8th. Sets belt high, turns 2-2. And another ground ball hit sharply over towards some fans down the third baseline. A kid in a red shirt pops out and barehands it. That third baseline where the bleachers are, they're not protected. You got to be alert over there.
I was just about to say, there's no netting or fence by that left field side. I mean, it's a good 100 feet away. A hot shot line drive could drill you.
Got to bring your glove. 2-2. And a ground ball over towards Trey Harmon at first. He takes it at 1 hop, jogs to first. That will do it. 2 hits, 1 run, 1 left on. Brewster slices into the Orleans lead. It's now 5-2 Firebirds as we head to the top of the 8th inning. Orleans up 3 on the best team in the East.
I'll give you a moment to get your tickets out and get yourself set to go.
Hi, I'm Steve Anzoni, owner of Fairway Financial and Cape Cod's Retirement Income Specialist. If you want to hit a home run with your retirement income plan, schedule a time to meet with me today.
Get more details at fairwayfinancial.net. That's fairwayfinancial.net.
We have a $50 gift card for the Beach House Spa. Number 2.
Welcome back to Stony Brook Field in Brewster, Massachusetts. Carlo Jimenez alongside my roommate, Gareth Kwok, taking you the way in this one. We enter the visitor half of the 8th inning, and the third pitcher of the game on the mound. For the Brewster Whitecaps, it's Brennan Oxford, the lefty, and he's making his first appearance with the Whitecaps. Out of Wake Forest, Oxford, during his freshman year, at a 5.40 ERA in 25 innings of work, gave up just 2 home runs and was a reliever that was used a lot for the Demon Deacons. 25 appearances were the 4th most in all of the ACC. As Brennan Oxford begins his first outing with Brewster, he will face the 6, 7, 8 spots. Jeff Costello, Trey Harmon, David Marcano for the Orleans Firebirds. It's 5-2 Orleans here in the top of the 8th inning. And the Firebirds looking for their second consecutive win, a big one against the best team on the Cape in Bourne. And now facing the best team in the Eastern Division, and if you're going by records, the second best team on the Cape in the Brewster Whitecaps. Whitecaps, the magic number for them is 3. 3 wins and they clinch a playoff spot. For Orleans, they need a lot of wins and a lot of help, but mathematically not out of it. Crazier things have happened. Left-handed pitcher looks on towards the right-handed batter Costello. His first pitch misses low and inside. And the count 1 ball and no strikes.
I think Tyler Locklear put it perfectly yesterday in our postgame interview. He said, we'll just make a little push. Baseball's weird. You never know what might happen, and they're not ready to call it quits yet, even though it is still a bit of a ways away.
1-0. And Costello swings, jams one into left center field, moving over the left fielder Thompson on the run. He makes the catch. Costello hits one hard, but Will Thompson tracks it down. A line out to left, and there's one away. The first out recorded by the newest Brewster Whitecap, Brennan Oxford. Oxford made national headlines during high school at South Portland High. He threw 4 consecutive no-hitters in high school. 30 2/3 of hitless innings. First pitch to Trey Harmon, right-handed batter, takes a ball inside. 1 ball and no strikes. That's just ridiculous. I mean, if you're team number 4 and you're facing Oxford, what's the strategy?
I mean, I don't care what state it is or what competition. I mean, that's pretty hard to do.
1-0. Misses up high. 2 balls and no strikes. 4 straight. I'd be bunting the whole time, let me tell you.
You'd be one of those guys, huh?
I would.
I mean, I don't blame you if you really had nothing.
2-0. Harmon takes ball 4. 3 balls and no strikes to the 7-hole hitter, headed to Stenson. I mean, you got 3 no-hitters. Do you really need a 4th? You're just getting greedy at this point.
Well, if you're the team coming in and there's been the guys throwing 3 straight, I mean, you got to do whatever it takes just to win.
3-0. Strike one down the pipe. 3 balls and 1 strike to Harmon.
I mean, if I were a coach, I would not care about, oh, yeah, he's coming in with 3 straight no-hitters. Heck, bunt if you want, you know? You got to do what you got to do to get the win, especially when it's early in the ball game.
5-2 Orleans, top 8. 3-1. Harmon swings and whacks one right at the shortstop Faltini. He gloves it, doesn't have to move, and there's 2 outs. So in stand David Marcano, right-handed batter, who's pretty good at laying down a bunt. Had a bunt single in his last game. And Marcano's going to go talk to Jamie Quinn, the third base coach for Orleans. Those two chatting it up. Orleans will be at home against Chatham, and then the final off day of the summer. Firebirds taking on Eastern opponents the rest of the way. They are 5-5-2 against their own division. 3 of those games come against Chatham. 1 more against Brewster. 1 against YD. And they'll take on Harwich twice. If you want to make a late playoff push, you want to face the guys ahead of you in the division, and that's exactly what Orleans is going to be doing this last week. Oxford looks on, 2 outs, base is empty, the pitch. Marcano takes high. 1 ball and no strikes. Shadows have crept across the pitcher's mound. They're down the left field line. Third baseman Bullard is in the shade, and the first baseman Simpson in the sun. No lights at Stony Brook, 1-0. Swing and a miss. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. The third ballpark on the Cape without lights. Lowell Park and Red Wilson Field, the other 2. That means we will end when the sun is down, 1-1. Over the top of Biddison. The count 2 balls and a strike. Although this game starting at 4 o'clock, buying some more time to hope this game goes 9. We're almost 2.5 hours in. Base is empty, 2 outs. 5-2 Orleans, 2-1. Up high. 3 balls and a strike to David Marcano here in the top of the 8th. Marcano 0 for 3 today. 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch back in the third and then stole a base. 3-1. And he swings and cranks one into left field, a base hit. David Marcano with his first hit of the game, a 2-out knock into left. And up comes the lefty Justin Mickness as he has to strip his catcher's gear, put on the protective padding, and walk to the box. Mickness has taken 2 walks today. He has worked himself into the top 5 on the Cape in walks taken. Brock Wilkin leads the league. He continues to have quite the impressive summer. One of the top hitters for contact and for power, and one of the best eyes. The Harwich Mariner leader at first, David Marcano, first pitch home, is a strike on the outside to Justin Mickness. No balls and 1 strike. 5-2, Orleans leading Brewster. Top of the 8th inning. Firebirds' first trip to Stony Brook and trying to leave with a win. 0-1. Downstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike to the catcher out of Kent State. Mickness was 0 for 3 yesterday. That ended his 4-game hitting streak, in which he was 5 for 13 with 3 RBIs. Batted in the 2-hole yesterday against Bourne. Throwback to first, David Marcano on his feet. Already 1 stolen base for David. Great crowd still on hand. Almost everyone has stayed as the sun is set in left. What started as a hot open to this game, 86 degrees at first pitch. It's now dropped into a comfortable mid-70s. And Gareth, we've been lucky with the weather so far.
We have. We're hoping that it stays that way for the next final 7 games. I hope you didn't jinx anything.
We've been over this There's no such thing as jinx. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Runner goes. Marcano's head first slide into second. He's in there safely. The ball rolls out to right center field, and David's going to take another 90. A stolen base, and then advancing to third on the air, and an opportunity to add to the 5-2 lead for David Marcano. So Justin McNiss with a chance to pick up his 5th RBI of the game. Of the season. Orleans 5, Brewster 2. Firebirds with 2 runs in the 3rd, 3 in the 5th. Brewster with singletons in the 6th and the 7th. Oxford in his first outing with the Whitecaps. Stares in, sets head high. 1-2. And McNiss rolls one down the third baseline. It's a fair ball. Charging is the third baseman Bullard. Across his body. Throw to first is over the head of the first baseman Simpson. And mark it. An RBI for Justin McNiss. It's 6-3 Orleans in the top of the 8th. McNiss had it beat out as Faltini got a late break on that ball from third. He thought it was going to roll foul.
Now batting the second baseman from
And the Firebirds knock on another run. It's 6-2, and it looks like they're going to give Faltini the air, and McNiss does not get a hit. Not sure if I completely agree with that one.
Yeah, this is a tough play for the third baseman coming on in on that ball. It was off the end of the bat, had a lot of spin on it, and it didn't get a good grip on it before airmailing that throw.
Right-handed batter Peyton Chatinier takes a first pitch strike. And the count, no balls and 1 strike to him. Peyton still looking for his first hit of this Tuesday afternoon game. Scored in the 3rd after reaching on a fielder's choice. Firebirds tack on another run and add some cushion. It's 6-2 Orleans in the top of the 8th with 2 outs, 0-1. Upstairs. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike.
So McNiss goes an RBI infield hit, and then the error allows McNiss to go down to second. That's the official ruling. Already 3 errors in this ball game for Brewster, 2nd of the inning for the Whitecaps just here in this 8th inning alone.
So give McNiss the RBI as he stands at second. And the 1-1. Chatinier swings and misses. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Peyton's been pretty consistent with Orleans. Hits in all but 5 of his games he's played in, including one last night. He's on a 4-game hitting streak. He adjusts the helmet, holds the bat straight out towards Oxford. Waiting for Oxford to get set. He bends at the waist. Glove pinned against the right hip and comes set. Chatinier now puts the bat on the right shoulder. The 1-2. Checks his swing at a high fastball. Did he go? No. Able to put the brakes on in time. And the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. McKenzie on deck. McNiss in scoring position. Firebirds looking for more offense in the late innings at Stony Brook Field. 2-2. Downstairs, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Chanier works a full count with 2 outs, which means McNiss will get a head start at second.
And they're making Oxford work in his Brewster debut. Already going to be his 22nd pitch in this inning alone for the left-hander out of Wake Forest.
Oxford's first time on the Cape. He has had a couple of stints with the New England Collegiate Summer League, playing for the Ashboro Copperheads and the Sanford Mariners. 3-2. Misses inside, gets away from the catcher Biddison. Holding at second is McNiss as the ball skirts towards the on-deck circle of the Whitecaps. A 2-out walk to Peyton Chatinier, and the 8th inning continues. There's 2 on with 2 out for Jared McKenzie. In the top of the 8th inning, 6-2 Orleans. McKenzie picked up his first RBI in over 3 weeks with a 2 RBI single in the 3rd inning. First pitch home. He shows bunt, pulls it back. Takes a ball low. And they count 1 ball and no strikes. McKenzie reached and scored in the 5th on an error. He is 1 for 3 today with a pair of strikeouts. 1 run already on the board in the top of the 8th. Firebirds looking for more. as Oxford steps off. A 6-2 advantage over the Brewster Whitecaps. On a cool night at Stony Brook Field as the sun sets down the left field line. No lights. We are on the sun's time. 1-0. And a foul straight back to the screen. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike to Jared McKenzie. Shadows continue to creep onto the field. Have pretty much masked the infield grass. McNiss at second. Chatinier at first. 1-1. McKenzie slices one in the air into left field, moving over the left fielder Thompson, and on the jog, he'll reach up and make the catch. 2 hits, 1 run, 2 left on, and the Firebirds are back up by 4. It's 6-2 midway through 8 here on the Birds Broadcast Network.
All right, fans, let's do one more Around the Cape League score update, as now 3 other games have gone into action here. And the Cotuit Kettleers have a 12-2 lead over the Bourne Braves. They are routing Bourne, the best team in the league right now, 12-2 from Lowell Park. They're in the top of the 7th. Falmouth leading 3-0 over Hyannis from Arnie Allen Diamond. They're in the bottom of the 2nd. Falmouth with an early 3-0 lead, and currently in the top of the 1st, it's a scoreless game between YD and Harwich, live from White House Field. That game just getting started. And then Chatham versus Wareham is the final game coming up in about 10 minutes from Spillane Field. And so that will be the final game to get going today on this Tuesday. But right now, Orleans with a 6-2 lead as it heads to the bottom of the 8th, and Firebirds have a new pitcher on the hill.
It is the Grim Reaper, as coined by our sideline reporter Noah Searson. Nick Wallerstedt is going to make his 12th appearance of the summer. And for Wallerstedt, it's the first time this summer he's appearing on back-to-back days. Through an inning against Bourne, struck out 2 batters of the 3 he faced in the 8th yesterday, and he will start in the 8th again today. Wallerstedt with a 1.22 ERA in 14 2/3. He has walked 6 batters and struck out 18 this summer. And boy, has he looked terrific. Gareth, what will Brewster hitters see from the righty out of ASU?
Yeah, Wallerstedt, the right-hander, he'll come at you from a low 3-quarter arm slot, and he's mostly just a 2-pitch guy, just a fastball that will have good velocity on it. 91 to 92, you'll get a couple 93s in there as well, with a big curveball slider. You can call it a slurve, but it's got side spin on it, and it's really just those 2 pitches that he's been able to command really well. A guy who didn't have such great control coming here to Orleans, but has really mastered it over the course of these last 2 months, and has really been able to control those pitches and get a lot of swing and misses. And so he's just a fastball slider guy, and he'll face off against a good part of the Brewster order here, looking to hold this 4-run lead.
Yeah, Wallerstedt's biggest strength also has been his pitching against right-handed batters. Righties just 3 for 28 on the summer. He'll face off against the lefty Jake Thompson to open things up, but Thompson just one of 2 lefties in this lineup. Against left-handed hitters, Wallerstedt has also been terrific. His first pitch to lefty Thompson. Strike at the top of the zone. No balls and 1 strike. Bottom of the 8th, 6-2 Orleans. A 1 skips in low. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. Up high and away. 2 balls and a strike. Sun officially behind the trees and left. As we start to head towards the late innings of this game. 2-1. Misses inside. 3 balls and a strike from Wallerstedt to Thompson. Thompson has been the best hitter of the game for Brewster. A double in the 4th, a single in the 6th. He scored back in the 6th inning. One of the 2 runs for the Whitecaps today. 3-1. Low. And a leadoff walk to Jake Thompson. Only the 7th walk surrendered of the season for Nick Wallerstedt.
Now batting, the right fielder.
And it's to lead off the
from
bottom of the
Wake
8th inning.
Forest, number 41, Chris Lanzilli.
Final line for Jake Somm. 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, no walks and 2 strikeouts. Thompson leads at first after reaching for the 3rd time today. It's the right-handed batter, Chris Lanzilli. Wallerstedt deals. And Lanzilli looks at a ball below the knees. 1 ball and no strikes. New defensive substitution for Orleans. Julio Marcano is playing first base. And we'll do it for Trey Harmon. Marcano was also substituted in yesterday's game for Harmon. 1-0. Downstairs again. And Wallerstedt has thrown 6 balls and just 1 strike to open up his outing. And Justin Mickness wants to go talk to the right-hander.
He's having trouble locating that fastball right now, as well as that slider. Looks like he's getting ahead of himself because he's been missing low. And so the release point right now a little bit later than usual for Wally. Middle infielders are in double play depth here. And Wallerstedt, he's been able to get that ground ball a lot this summer.
Bottom 8, 6-2 Orleans over Brewster. 2-0. Big breaking ball at the top of the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. Lanzilli at a Wake Forest walk today. Reached second and was left stranded. The breeze slightly blowing out to center. 2-1. Downstairs, Mickness loses it for a second, gets back to it, throws down to second, and they have Thompson in a rundown. Julio Marcano from first base runs him down. It's now over to David Marcano, and he'll tag him out. So caught off the bag is Jake Thompson. A nice job by Orleans to take advantage. The ball just got away from Mickness. Thompson took off. And the leadoff base runner goes to waste. There's 1 out.
Yeah, I think Thompson hesitated at first. He didn't fully commit. He stopped kind of halfway before rethinking about whether he wanted to go down to second, and it cost him.
3-1. Lanzilli takes a strike at the knees. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes to Chris.
You want to know what the order for that caught stealing was? 2-4-3-6. It's a code.
The code for what? You got treasure somewhere? 3-2. And a swing and a line drive down the right field line. Keishel running over, and he watches it bounce. Rounding first on his way to second goes Lanzilli. The throw in is not in time. Lanzilli does a good job of extending the single to a double on a bloop shot down the right field line. And a runner in scoring position with 1 out for Tony Bullard.
Arizona, number 22, Tony Bullard.
So in stands Tony Bullard out of U of A. ASU on U of A here, little Pac-12 rivalry with 1 out, and Lanzilli on second. 6-2 Orleans, bottom of the 8th. Wallerstedt trying to close the deal for the Firebirds against the top team in the East. First pitch. And the right-handed batter takes the ball low. 1 ball and no strikes. Bullard is 1 for 3 today, but he has 2 very hard hit balls off that bat. A line out to left and to right that were right at McKenzie and Keishel. 1-0 to him. Strike at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bullard in his time at U of A, 298 hitter, 30 RBIs, 7 home runs. He was 1 for 8 in his few games with this Brewster team. 1-1, and he cranks one down the right field line. That's going to fall for a fair ball. Rounding third, coming home on the play is Lanzilli. He will score without a throw. And it's an RBI knock for Tony Bullard. And Brewster creeping back into the ball game. It's 6-3 in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, give credit to Bullard, who has, I mean, he's put solid contact every time tonight. And, I mean, think about it. He probably should be 4 for 4 given how hard he's hit it, but right at the defense. But that time, Luke Keishel not playing on the line, and nobody's going to be there to cover that. And as you mentioned, it's a 3-run game. And looks like we'll have a pinch hitter here as Chad Castillo will pick up a bat. and hit for Tyler Dellerman.
A left-handed batter hitting .300 in his 9 games with the Whitecaps. Looks on. Wallerstedt kicks and deals. Castillo takes a strike away. No balls and 1 strike. For Wallerstedt, that's just the third earned run of the summer he's given up. Gave up 1 against Bourne, 1 in his first outing of the summer against Harwich. 0-1. Swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes to Castillo. And now 1 here against Brewster. Castillo, 4 for 13 in his last 4 games. Last time out against Orleans, he picked up his 3rd multi-hit game of the summer. He was 2 for 3 with a run scored. At first, leads Bullard. 0-2. Upstairs. Castillo lays off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 8 hits, 1 error for Orleans. 8 hits, 3 errors for Brewster. And a 6-3 Firebirds lead in the bottom of the 8th. We've had runs in the last 3 half innings. The offense has picked up. And the Firebirds trying to down the Whitecaps, the best team in the Eastern Division. 1-2. And a swing and a foul back over the tree line, over the grandstand. And another 1-2 pitch upcoming to Chad Castillo. Castillo with the Cal Baptist Lancers, 2nd on the team in average, and had his best collegiate summer. Career highs in hits, home runs, and RBIs. 1-2, runner goes. Swing and a miss. Down goes Castillo. No throw on to second. Bullard will take the free stolen base. But Wallerstedt retires the lefty, and there's 2 away.
That's a hard fastball from Wallerstedt. Like we talked about, it's got some good velocity in the low to mid-90s, and he blows it past Castillo. Tough assignment for the left-handed bat coming off the bench, and you have to face the Grim Reaper.
Right-handed batter Simpson looks on. Wallerstedt's pitch to him. Ball in the dirt. Good block by McNiss. Simpson, 4 for 9 with 2 home runs in his last 5 games, including a grand slam against Orleans the last time these 2 teams faced off. He was 1 for 1, coming in a pinch hitting opportunity. Today he is 2 for 3. 1-0. Breaking ball in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to him. Simpson was a bright spot on a UW team that struggled in 2021. He led the team in average, home runs, and RBIs. Wallerstedt's 1-1. And a swing and a pop-up down the right field line. Over the bleachers, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Washington that year 6 for 21 in Pac-12 play. Finished at the bottom of the conference. One of the better conferences in baseball. At second is Bullard after his single and a stolen base. 2 outs, bottom 8, 6-3 Orleans. Wallerstedt's 1-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Will Simpson. Back-to-back strikeouts for Nick Wallerstedt. And that will do it for the bottom of the 8th inning. 2 hits, 1 run, 1 left on. And it is a 6-3 Firebirds lead. We will head to the final frame. Top of the 9th upcoming. Can Orleans tack on some more to the 3-run lead? as Sweet Caroline fades on the PA. Here at Brewster, up comes Luke Kieshel, the right-handed batter. Top of the 9th inning at Stony Brook Field, and the Orleans Firebirds trying to down the Brewster Whitecaps, who are 8-1-1 in their last 10 games. The lone loss to Orleans. And the Firebirds, after beating the best team in the Western Division yesterday, looking to down the best team in the Eastern Division today. Lefty on righty, first pitch on. Kieshel swings and fouls one back to the screen. And the count, no balls and 1 strike to him. 3 hits for Luke today. He is 3 for 4. Continuing what has been a hot streak. 8 straight multi-hit games. And named Cape Cod Player of the Week earlier today, the second Orleans Firebird to receive the honor. 0-1. And he taps one foul off his foot. No balls and 2 strikes. Chase DeLauder, who is on deck, was named Cape Cod Player of the Week earlier in the season when he went 7 for 15, including a 5-hit game against the Brewster Whitecaps in that 19-6 walloping. First time these two teams faced off. 0-2 to Kieshel. He takes a fastball upstairs. Check swing. Did he go? No, the answer from first base umpire Jeff Merzer. And the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Kieshel, DeLauder, Locklear. Doesn't get much harder than this if you're Brennan Oxford on the mound. Firebirds trying to tack on more, up 3 against the Whitecaps in the top of the 9th inning. 1-2. Kieshel fights a high fastball off, back to the screen. And the count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. Kieshel, who has struggled versus left-handed pitchers this summer, just 2 for 13, compared to his 9 for 18 against righties. 1-2. Swing and a miss. And a strikeout to begin the top of the 9th. Kieshel's retired for just the 2nd time today. He'll finish 2 for 3. Or excuse me, 3 for 5. And in stands the left-handed batter, Chase DeLauder. So while Kieshel has struggled against lefties, complete opposite for the left-handed batter, Chase DeLauder. A .316 average against guys who are southpaws. 6-3 Orleans, top 9, 1 out, nobody on. Pitch home. DeLauder takes low. 1 ball and no strikes. Firebirds will have Chatham tomorrow, which will start 3 games against the Chatham Anglers of their next 7. Going to see the Anglers a lot. 1-0. And a swing and a high fly ball into left. Towering into left field, going back is Thompson, and the left fielder makes the catch. DeLauder just under that one. Almost had home run number 9 to tie his teammate Tyler Locklear for the league lead. And in stands the right-handed batter. Well, it's a good thing we started at 4, Gareth. Approaching 7 o'clock. This is almost hour 3 of the game. Imagine the regular 5 o'clock start here at Brewster. This game might have been called early. Sun setting in left. First pitch, Locklear grounds one to third. The third baseman Bullard gobbles it up, takes his time, fires to first. 1 pitch, 1 out. Locklear is gone, and a quick top of the 9th for Orleans as the best hitters in the lineup go down in order. Firebirds need 3 outs, up 3 runs. It's the bottom of the 9th inning. They'll face the bottom of the lineup. Faltini, Weiss, Porter, Brown when we return. 6-3 Firebirds over Brewster. Welcome back to Stony Brook Field, where things just got interesting. Jared Southard has entered the game for the Orleans Firebirds, and he will face off against the bottom of the lineup. In the bottom of the ninth, Brewster Whitecaps with their final chance, down 3 runs. Firebirds need 3 outs. And Gareth Kelly Nicholson putting in the guy who was in the middle of all the controversy last time these two teams faced off.
Yep, and Jared Southard going to come at you with a hard fastball. This guy has really good velocity. I mean, it's a 93, 94 mile-an-hour fastball, and he does have a slider as well. He's mostly just a 2-pitch guy, and so right now it's going to be Southard, who will, again, as you talked about, after what happened last week, there was a little bit of a confrontation, and here he is facing off against Faltini.
Southard's first pitch in the dirt. And the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Mac Bingham awaits on deck. Mac Bingham is batting right now. Pinch hitting for the Whitecaps, 1-0. He shows bunt, pulls it back, takes a strike. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bingham in for Trey Faltini. Mac hitting 146 on the summer. Here comes a 1-1. Strike at the knees. And Southard in the driver's seat, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And you got to imagine, Gareth, this might be a 3-run game, and Southard has some room to play with, but he wants to set guys down in order. This means a little extra to him. He exhales. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Jared Southard strikes out Mac Bingham for the first out of the bottom of the ninth.
He's got electric stuff, folks. Fastball again, mid-90s, and a wipeout slider that gets Bingham, the pinch hitter, off the bench. And looks like we'll have another pinch hitter here as Jamie Shevchik decides to unload the bench. It'll be Curtis Byrne, the catcher from TCU.
Curtis Byrne, right-handed hitter, was 0 for 5 last time against Orleans, and he's 0 for 14 in his last 4 games. He looks on towards the righty Southard with 1 out and the base is empty. First pitch. Strike at the knees. No balls and 1 strike. Orleans 6, Brewster 3. Firebirds trying to go 2-0 against the top 2 teams in the league. 0-1. And a ground ball over towards short. Shortstop David Marcano charging. Gloves it from the infield grass to first. In time. 2 up, 2 down. A nice play by number 2. And up comes Porter Brown. The last chance for Brewster. It's 6-3 Orleans with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth.
I wonder how many times David Marcano has made that play to his brother, Julio Marcano. Excellent play, charging in. And from one Marcano to another, there's 2 down now. Firebirds 1 out away from a big-time win over the best team in the East.
Defeating Bourne yesterday. Trying to take down Brewster today. First pitch. Left-handed batter takes the ball low. 1 ball and no strikes. Firebirds jumped out to a 5-0 lead through 5. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Ball tapped back to the screen. Count 1 ball, 1 strike. And Brewster picked off a couple of runs in the 6th and the 7th to make it a 5-2 game. Firebirds added 1 in the 8th. Brewster took 1 away in the bottom of the inning. And we sit at 6-3 in the bottom of the ninth. 2 outs, nobody on. A 1-1 count to Porter Brown. Southard's delivery. And a foul ball through the legs of Brown towards the Bat Boys of Orleans. And now Brewster down to their final strike. Southard in his first outing with Orleans against Brewster gave up a grand slam to Will Simpson, but then would strike out the side in the bottom of the ninth to finish the game. Can he do the same and close this one here at Stony Brook? 1-2. Check swing. Did he go? No, says third base umpire Rick Emerson. Ball misses downstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The wind is quiet. Shadows have engulfed Stony Brook Field. The Firebirds looking for a win. 2-2. And a swing and a ground ball off the glove of Southard. He picks it up with a bare hand in front of the mound. The throw to first, not in time. Southern got a piece and almost threw out Brown. Instead, it will go as an infield single. And the game continues as up comes Nick Biddison.
A pinch hitter.
Check that, another pinch hitter. It's Spencer Jones.
Spencer Jones.
Jared Southern almost made that catch. A no-look behind the back stab at a line drive. He almost made a terrific play that I think the Firebirds fans would have just gone absolutely nuts on a no-look stab. Instead, he blocks it, unable to get the speedy Brown, and he has to get one more hitter out here.
And will be the best hitter for the Whitecaps in Jones, the lefty out of Vanderbilt. With Brown at first, pitch home. Drops in for a strike. No balls and one strike to Spencer Jones. Jones hitting .281, but in his 20 at-bats with runners on, he's hitting an even 400. Brown leads at first, 0-1. Just misses away. E. Tyler Bullock saying outside. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Southern stares in, looks over his left shoulder towards first. He exhales, he kicks, 1-1. Strike 2 with the knees. And once again, Firebirds a strike away. Southern gets the sign from Mickness. Brown takes a 3-step lead, the infield back with 2 outs. 6-3 Orleans, bottom 9. 1-2. And a swing and a foul over towards the fence. Jones stays alive. And another 1-2 pitch coming his way. Spencer Jones, last time out against Orleans, is 0 for 4. This summer against the Firebirds, he's 0 for 8. Southern with the glove tucked under his left shoulder. He sets at the belt. 1-2. Misses away. Jones lays off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Firebirds trying to win 2 in a row after losing 3 in a row and do it against the best 2 teams. The top team in the West in Bourne and now the top team in the East in Brewster. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Jones. And Jared Southern closes this one here at Stony Brook. 6-3 Orleans downs the Brewster Whitecaps for the 3rd time this summer. And the Firebirds' playoffs hopes are still alive as Gareth Kwok is going to go try to grab Jared McKenzie to join us on the postgame show. A big-time strikeout for Jared Southern as he finishes the deal. No extracurriculars after that one. But a nice final out. And for the Birds, what a pair of wins. 10-4 against Bourne, 6-3 against Brewster. And we are seeing what this team could do. As Kwok, the players giving high fives to each other, the O's up. And hopefully Jared McKenzie kind of join us. Had a double down the right field line, scored a run as well. Sophomore out of Baylor hitting in the 2 spot and towards the top of the lineup. And the Firebirds, a big-time win. And what a performance by Jared Southern. A little bit of revenge. Gave up the grand slam. Thought he wouldn't pitch today. Pitched an inning yesterday. Kelly Nicholson sending him in. And it works out for Orleans. As Jared McKenzie is going to be kind enough to join us. All right, back here in the booth with Jared McKenzie, the sophomore out of Baylor, nice enough to join us. Jared, a 2 RBI single down the right field line for you that started this offense for Orleans. You guys have been hot this last couple of games. What did you see at the plate to knock in 2 runs?
Yeah, I thought I put a couple good swings on him. My first at bat, and thought I saw him well. He got me on the slider the first time, and I took a good swing on the first pitch, that first at bat. Surprised he came back with another fastball, but he did, and I wasn't going to miss it.
Firebirds, 2 huge wins after the 3-game losing streak. You guys take down the best team in the Western Division in Bourne, now the best team in the Eastern Division in Brewster. What does this do for your guys' confidence going into the final 7 games of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes to show that we can beat anybody. It's just a matter of coming out and being ready to play no matter who our opponent is and what place they are or not. So,
yeah, it certainly shows. You guys have been terrific against the top 2 teams. Final week of the season for you and this Firebirds team, hopefully a chance at the playoffs. But what has kind of been your takeaway? What are the things that you've tried to work on this summer with the Firebirds? Yeah,
I mean, I think overall it's just been a great opportunity to meet a bunch of new guys and pick their brains, and then just to come out here, and the environment is awesome. The fans, people want to see baseball again, and so I think overall I've had a great experience. And so going into this last week, let's just go out and have fun and finish strong.
It's been great watching you, Jared. Really appreciate you joining us in the booth. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow at home.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
And you're good to go. Thanks so much to Jared McKenzie for his time here on the Birds broadcast. As Gareth Kwok will sprint back over to join us. Firebirds defeat the Brewster Whitecaps as they win 2 in a row, and it is music to Firebirds fans' ears. A dominant win, 6-3 over Orleans. And Gareth Kwok making the run, a little light jog. Now he'll go behind the stands, shimmies, picks up the headset, puts it on.
I'm back.
Yes, good to have you.
Let's wrap this thing up.
Let's do it. What a win. Orleans 6-3 over Brewster. They beat the Whitecaps for the 3rd time, and, man, does this team play up to their competition every single time. They just look great again. Gareth, your quick takeaways from what is another impressive win by a Firebirds team.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about it. I mean, it's a team right now that seems to be playing up to their competition. Every time there's a good opponent, like a Bourne or a Brewster, they play their best ball. And what I've really liked the last couple of games is that they have not been settling for on offense. You know, they take a punch after they get the lead, and then the other team kind of gets back into it a little bit. They grab a couple runs, but they don't settle. They come immediately right back and get those runs back to get a little bit of a cushion. I think that's helped out the pitchers in the bullpen too, so that it doesn't make it so tight on them late in the game to hold, a 1 or 2 run lead. They can relax a little more knowing that I got a 4 or 5 run lead that I can work with. And so I think that's just been the crucial part about it, is that Orleans has not settled. They have been able to go back and get those runs after the opponent gets them and sort of chips away, and they've chipped away themselves. Now tomorrow not the worst team, but I guess the last place team in the East in Chatham, can they put up the same type of performance and not let the record or anything dictate and dictate the flow of how they perform on the field? That's going to be the question. And again, Chatham's a good team. They're maybe last place in the East at all, but again, this is a Firebirds team that they seem to play up to their competition, play down to their competition at times when they lost to Hyannis. So can they do it tomorrow against Chatham? They have to keep the momentum going. They got to have a very good run here, a near perfect run. Need some help along the way, but certainly some victories at the end here will make it a lot sweeter for Orleans.
2 big ones, the hardest 2 to get, against Bourne and then against Brewster, and the Firebirds get a huge 6-3 win over the Whitecaps in their first visit to Stony Brook Field. For Carlo Jimenez, Gareth Kwok, our producer Matt Schenfeld, our sideline reporter Noah Searson, and all the great people that bring you Orleans Firebirds baseball, we're saying so long from Stony Brook. We'll be back in the final game of the year on August 4th. One more time, the score: Firebirds down the Brewster Whitecaps 6-3 here on the road.